Hey, welcome back to Episoe podcast. I'm your host, Juan. And as always, my co-host with me. Hey, Trip.
Hey, dude.
How's it going, man?
Weird. I figured we would come into this with some really weird energy. I wanted to get us there because we're not talking about anime this week.
Yeah, it's very true. Not anime at all. We'll talk about anime, just not as our main topic or anything.
It's fair. But League of Legends decided to be really good. So
Yeah.
we'll now have a good comparison for everything that's video game related.
That's made in the
that gets
future.
adapted into movies and TV shows and all these different things. Because Riot did it right this time.
They proved it can be done. You can have a video game property and make a good thing out of it.
So good.
Just people refuse to do it. Like Netflix, like all the time.
That's the fucking thing. He's like, what happened? Were they just like throwing shit out there and hopefully something works out? Or was this like did Riot come to Netflix and they're like, look, man, we got this really good thing.
We want to do it right. And Netflix is like, we usually don't do it like that.
But Riot's always been good at what they've put out there.
Yeah, their cinematics are always gorgeous and stuff. I mean, we'll talk about it later, but yes, we're not talking about anime. We're talking about talking about a really good animated show on Netflix. It was hard making a topic this week.
There's not anything important going on yet.
No.
So honestly, if we reviewed something else, it would have also been off topic. So a little more like, in the anime realm of things, but in the less relevant air too.
It's weird though, right? Because like we're at that. It's like all the new shows aired, and we're not watching any of them. And they're just like we watched the My Hero movie, and then like it's dry. There's nothing else
weird
going
deficit.
on.
Yeah,
all the energy's going to fucking
Cowboy Bebop,
and fucking Squid Game sucked up a bunch of energy.
Oh yeah.
Squid Game's all over the place. When they make the anime, we can talk about that. Fuck, dude. Anyways, how you been? What you been doing?
I've been pretty good. This last week has been a not super eventful week, but like a really fucking enjoyable week.
Okay.
Have you heard of a show called 90 Day Fiance? Yes, of course I have. Yeah.
I have, yeah. I don't watch that show, but there are plenty. But I have watched a lot of that show.
So I can't attest for anything other than what I watched, which was season 4 of 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days.
Okay.
Yeah. And it is some of the best television I've ever enjoyed.
Can I ask how old that season is? Like,
yeah, you can.
What year?
It came out last year.
Okay.
Yeah, it's super relevant. The next season should be coming out soon. So please tell me, regale me with the story. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
There were so many things that kept happening in it that I was just shocked. Like each new revelation was shocking. If it was written, it's some of the best written reality TV I've ever goddamn seen.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't scripted at all, I don't understand how these people are real. And I am so happy that I don't have to be one of them because they're all put into these bizarre situations that inherently have a lot of trust. They meet somebody that lives very far away. They form a relationship with them. And now this whole show is about meeting them for 3 weeks and like being in their country and stuff for 3 weeks. Holy fuck, dude. Some of the things that happened were nuts. I don't want to spoil a whole lot.
Give me a highlight though. Like at least something like, oh, this is crazy. That isn't spoily, but like this is insane.
I mean, all of the relationships are crazy to me. There's like dude who goes by Soja Boy in Nigeria, his girlfriend, fiance, they were already, planning on getting married.
His bride to be.
Which isn't the case all of the time.
Sometimes they're just dating,
Sometimes they're just dating, but it's to get to know if they want to take that relationship to another level. And they often have like families involved in the situations that make things a lot more difficult. But for that particular one, it's this doctor who's in her 50s, I think. She's like late 50s with this dude who's like in his 30s. He lives with his roommates and stuff, and he just has this like weird rapper career life, I guess. So he's going to clubs, he's performing shows, and he has like a music video that's all about like, man, I'll do anything for you. I love you so much. You're my girl, baby. And then instead of it being, he originally wanted to hire a model for that music video, but he had a whole release launch party for the video and song. And just wound up taking a bunch of footage of this like old white woman for it. And like everybody hated it. Everyone was just like, what the fuck is going on?
None of them even
that
lied?
lady's gonna get scammed. Like, everyone was so confused about the whole thing. That was a really good part, but that was also one of the tamest things that happens.
That's on the bottom scale of things?
It's on the bottom scale of things, yeah.
Wow.
There's a guy who is a like relationship coach kind of guy, I guess. And he's been dating this girl for I want to say it's been on and off for 2 years. They had broken up like twice before or something like that.
Okay.
So they're together and she's visiting him in Australia. She is from the US.
I think I know
she's
this
up
one.
in Washington. Yeah.
He gives a speech and then he gets called out. Is that the one?
Yeah. So he sees, or she wants to see him working.
Yeah.
And his relationship coaching,
Whoa.
he's given a seminar that is more like
Women should
you
do
know, they
this.
got all these thoughts in their heads and they're too emotional and she's just sitting there like, what the fuck? That was crazy to see. And that wasn't even the craziest part of that whole thing.
That was a good one because like in the clip, then there's women in the audience being like, actually, and they're, you know, calling him out on his shit and he's just like, I can't hang, and he like dips out or whatever.
Yeah.
I've for sure seen plenty of clips like sometimes when I'm like scrubbing through Facebook and just like not paying attention, like, you know, auto plays start happening, and I end up at weird places like 90 Day Fiance, or also end up in this really weird like super attached moms or whatever, like they have like sons that they're obsessed with, and like it's like, and I go, okay, cool, like Dr. Phil, the Maury shit, like that shit happens. So yeah, that I've seen that clip for sure. So
yeah, that was a pretty good one. But the overarching stories with each of them is crazy to me.
Okay.
The most interesting one is a guy who has been dating this girl for 7 years. He's never met her before. They have had no conversations on the phone or through video chat, just through this one dating website. And in total, he has spent $100,000 on her without ever meeting her in the 7 years. So he goes to the Ukraine to try to find her because they're supposed to meet up and she doesn't show up. So he starts looking for her.
wow.
And that whole thing was fucking crazy.
Yeah, I think I've seen the clip of that one too, of him going there and, you know, being like, no one's here. Yeah.
It only gets crazier.
What are you watching?
It was
this
so
on?
much fun. You can pretty much just watch it on Discovery Plus.
Cool.
But I guess on YouTube you could buy the seasons, and then it has like curated playlists. If you're like, I just want to pay attention to
this
one
group of people. Yeah. Okay.
So you just see their entire like relationship play out.
You watched all of season 4 is what you're saying?
I watched all of season 4. Each episode's like 2+ hours sometimes. Yeah, it was a lot. I watched so much goddamn reality TV.
It makes sense why you couldn't watch anime this week.
Yeah, I'm like, I just want to binge stuff. That's the kind of mood that I'm in.
Yeah.
And I binged the fuck out of that.
That's good.
Yeah, fantastic. One of the best things that I've watched, and so much trash. It's so trashy.
Yeah.
I recommend it to so many people, but definitely get like the 1 week trial and binge the fuck out of season 4. I didn't intend on watching it. I wasn't expecting to have a good time
how'd
with
this
it.
happen?
So this all happened because I was watching a streamer who happened to be watching it, and I was like, I'll just throw it up while I'm finishing up Final Fantasy. So I beat Final Fantasy 14's main story, and then I watched some 90 Day Fiance, and I wound up going, hang on, this is better than Final Fantasy. Like,
What?
This is fucking incredible.
I don't think I've ever heard. I'm sorry. This is better than Final Fantasy.
Yes.
Can't continue to play.
I can't do it right now. I have to watch whatever it was because, she was streaming it. So she streamed it for a couple days, but the VODs don't get saved because it's
Copyrights and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was able to watch a bunch, so then I had to get a subscription to Discovery Plus.
It's a funny way to. How'd you fall into this? Yeah, Twitch.
Yeah, you know. She had started it and she was like, I'm sick. I've never seen it. I'm going to watch it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Craziness. One of the guys actually just got arrested in October
Murder
for domestic assault.
Oh, with his fiance or some other person?
Spoilers, man. Spoilers.
I guess that's
you
true.
know?
You'll tell me later.
It's so ridiculous, man. These people are insane.
I
loved it.
Do you have a favorite couple? Like,
no
one there's like, these guys are the craziest.
I have a favorite person. Yeah.
Yeah, who's
the
that?
guy who's looking for the chick in the Ukraine. He's fucking great. He's insane.
He's like a detective. Like, I'm going to sniff her out.
Well, that's the thing, is that like everyone is like, dude,
Let it
you're
go.
being scammed.
Yeah.
Like, just so you know, he's like, I'm not, though.
I gotta find her.
I'm absolutely not being scammed. His conviction, his willingness to believe that he spent all this money, and even though she didn't show up, like, I'm not being scammed.
Yeah, obviously.
This is the 4th time he went there, and she never showed for any of them.
Some guys are just really dedicated. I was gonna say something mean. Yeah. No, he's good for him.
Just watch it. It's gonna be so good. You're gonna have such a good time.
Maybe I'll just watch his story.
Okay, well, first off, if you did that, you would have a great time, but you would also be missing out on some other absolutely fantastic times. I mean, everyone's favorite Big Ed. I'm sure you've heard.
I've heard of him. Yeah,
I'm sure you've seen him on the internet.
You're my something. What's he say? Yeah, he's a huge meme. Homie got no neck. Puts mayo in his hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got more shows. That spin-offs, I think.
He's got like a whole thing, but that's where he was from, is this series.
You're My Perfect View is the thing. That's it. I remember it.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, I like the view.
Yeah.
You're my perfect view. And he's like,
so sweet.
Yeah.
A lot of that whole thing is
he's in that season. That makes sense. Okay.
Having to like go and stay with her family. Just so bizarre.
Isn't it the bit where he's just like, oh, my dad wants us to take a bath together? He's just like, okay. Like, yeah. Interesting. Culture shock for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but like for this guy that's like, okay, sure, what do I do? Is that a rat? And then they go, yeah, or a mouse.
We don't know.
And he's like, and I'm like, whatever, man, just go jump in the shower. Fuck.
No neck Ed. Yeah.
It's great. Highly recommend that. So 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days season 4. It is Chris Triplet approved.
Anime of the year.
Yeah. And then other than that, it was a big week for our group of friends because we had a Minecraft hardcore session.
Okay, how'd it go?
It was a solid 8 hours, and I think the most people ever made it to the end.
Okay.
We were able to kill the dragon with 5 remaining people. Myself, Wes, Kyle, Eliza, and Kurt. I don't remember if it was Kurt or Kyle, but somebody, I think it was Kurt.
How many of you guys started? Do you have an idea?
Like right away. We started with, it was a fluctuating like 7 to 9.
And you ended up with 5 in the end?
Yeah, I ended up with 5, so not too bad. First death was 4 hours in. So
Whoa.
That was crazy. And it was Josh who was our least expected person to die.
Yeah, out of curiosity, any reason why this round was most successful? Like,
we've been doing it for years.
Yeah, but sometimes you guys don't do that great. Sometimes, like, one guy makes it to the end, or 2 guys make it to the end, and it's like,
It was a lot of luck.
People just be more cautious.
A lot of luck.
Good to know. Good to know that it was just the luck that was involved with all of this.
Well, yeah, because certain things work out great. Certain things worked out great for us at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Luck. We were right next to a village, so we had food, we had beds, we had a bunch of resources right off the bat. We were able to find a really good amount of diamonds pretty early. The weirdest thing is we couldn't find iron very easily, which is a resource that we usually have too much of.
Yeah, and very important.
Yeah. So overall, it was just like a bizarre, different experience that we hadn't had before, and we all wound up doing pretty good.
Good for you guys.
Yeah, it was fun. And then other than that, which, I mean, it was a whole fucking day, so there was a lot to it. But other than that amazing time, I guess I really haven't been up to much. Those are my 2 favorite things that have happened, but it's just been great. And then as a close third, I played some Final Fantasy with my my free company friends, and we were able to overcome Diamond Weapon Extreme, which I guess is the hardest thing in the game right now, according to somebody in the group.
Without you knowing?
Yeah, without me knowing. I didn't know it was going to be that hard.
Like, that was hard. It was fun.
It was like regular hard, but like, we were all learning it, and I didn't know if my gear was good enough or whatever the fuck. But we struggled through it, and it was fun. So I would do it again. It was just lots of people going crazy over the course of a few hours, trying to just bash their head against a wall until something works out. It worked out. It was good.
Yeah.
So, friends, good times.
Well, yeah, that's good. I'm glad that you were able to. But you already beat the game, right? This is something you do.
No. I mean, when you talk about an MMO, there's getting to the end of the story.
Right,
which
that's
is
what
like,
I meant.
Quote unquote beating it.
You beat that already.
And then there's everything else in the game,
which is a bunch of other stuff,
which is totally different. Yeah, usually the story will culminate in a big like, oh yeah, this is the last thing that you do before the end, and it does that, but it's never like the hardest thing in the game.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just so that people can
feel accomplished. I did it, yeah.
Yeah, be a part of the overall story. Yeah.
So the new expansion that came out, the story-wise, you are done with it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So this
when you say new expansion,
the one that
came out 2 years ago.
Yeah, new to you or whatever. The newest one to you.
Yeah.
So this diamond thing, that's a side thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's the newest side thing they've added.
And you beat it.
And I did it.
Good job. Good job.
Not handily, but I did it. I was there.
Your gear was just good enough.
I was actually blown away from the end of Metroid Dread, which I can't really talk about.
You finished that?
I finished that as well, and it had the best ending sequence of any Metroid game, of like a lot of games that I've played. I feel like many games fuck up the end to not make it feel any different than like other parts of the game. But this felt significantly like, oh yeah, shit's going crazy and you have to utilize everything you've learned throughout the entire game, fighting this boss like again and again until you finally get past it. And then very cool story revelations and one of the best exiting sequences. I don't know if you know side-scrolling Metroid games too well, but they all end with, oh, there's a bomb going off. You have to get off the planet. You blow up like every planet because it's they're all full of like terrible things that shouldn't exist in the universe, and you're being sent to destroy them all for the most part.
Yeah.
You're like called as distress signals, and then you figure things out along the way. So for this one, that whole like escape sequence was it was so rad.
I for sure like
it was beyond as rad as anything you could imagine, man.
I for sure played some like side-scrolling Metroid games like on like I don't know, like SD maybe, and you know they were fun. I don't think I ever beat them because they were always too hard for me, or like there was like the maps and I was like, I don't know, this is just, they weren't my kind of games. And then I played the Metroid games that were on the GameCube, which was also really fun. I don't think I ever beat any of those either, but that's because I was just like, I'm not gonna beat this.
Honestly, with those, I love them, but I haven't beaten a single one for Metroid Prime.
I like the way they look a lot. I think it's really cool. So, this Dread, right? That was it. Up there in one of your favorite Metroids, or
yeah, for sure. I think it might be the best side-scrolling Metroid game, close to Fusion for me. Okay. Something about the way that everything played out was very linear, while also feeling like you're going back to the same areas and like a little bit of confusion of where do I go. But then when you get to like some point and you're like, I don't know what to do, you just look for anything on the map that's like, oh, I have a new ability that'll let me go there. And then that's where you naturally go, and it leads you to the next area, teleport back to somewhere that you were before, and then, oh, okay, if I just jump down here, then I'm back in this room. Oh, hey, there's a door that I could unlock now. Yeah. Just very easy linear gameplay while not feeling incredibly linear. Really tight, solid mechanics for action sequences. I actually didn't realize until much later that during certain parts you're being like hunted down and you have to go power up and then destroy the thing that was hunting you. I didn't realize that when you're being hunted, you have 2 chances of saving your life, but like barely. If it gets up to you, it activates a little animation sequence, and if you push a button at the right time, then you can deflect away the thing that's chasing you and try to get away from it. Otherwise, it's just a one-shot instant
and you're
death.
dead. Okay.
You're just done. So learning that you can actually get away twice was crazy to me. I just knew that you could do it once if you're really, really lucky, and I thought that it was at the beginning of the sequence. You get 2 chances. It's crazy. So being able to like learn things as you keep going that you could bring back to the beginning and have a different experience going through it a second time is really cool. Not to mention there are some sequence breaks that you could do. Sequence breaking in Metroid is one of the like most popular things about those games. So in this one, you're able to go through and you could get a grapple beam early, some morph ball bombs early, and if you're good enough, you could get a gravity suit early, which essentially negates any issues you're going to have like in the entire game.
So you instantly beat the game.
Yeah, it's great. You not only do you have more defense, you can also like jump around in water. You don't take any damage from ice or fire areas. Like you can go to all these different places if you're able to get that. Then you can just open up the rest of the game and have a crazy, easy, fast time, skipping large portions. I think it's so cool that they programmed the game in a way where
let you do that.
Yeah, that's something that you're supposed to be able to do if you're good enough.
Is that something that was in the games before and people like discovered how to do?
Yeah, but using mechanics that you would learn once you get good enough at them. Like there are a lot of Shine Spark puzzles in this Metroid Dread and Super Metroid, which means you get up to a speed, then you suddenly are like sprinting crazy fast, destroy everything in your way. But if you stop, then you could save that speed and you could launch yourself into something at like a crazy angle from all the way over here. People didn't expect you to be able to do it. Now you're on the other side. That kind of a thing.
Wow, okay.
For Metroid Dread, it's a little more like, yeah, there are just some mechanics we didn't tell you about, but they're a part of it. And you would never need to know it for playing the game. But if you do know it,
it's pretty cool. Yeah.
You can keep your momentum if you're flying and you hit a slope, then you can keep your momentum and keep running with it instead of it just being eliminated as soon as you hit the ground again. So there are a few sequences like that where you're able to go past things. I learned this all, of course, after the fact.
After you did it the old-fashioned way.
After I beat it, I was like, wow, that was pretty fun. I feel pretty good. And people were like, nah, so here's how you do this shit.
This is how you actually play the game.
Okay, all right, well, fuck me, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was really good. That's about it. I've done more, but those all feel substantial.
Yeah, those seem like really big parts of like your last week.
Yeah, pretty solid.
All right, man, let's tell you what I did this week.
I want to know.
It was my aunt's birthday. She's technically not my aunt anymore. Actually, she technically wasn't ever my aunt.
Okay.
She was the baby mama of my cousins. My uncle and her never got married, and then they got divorced, even though they technically weren't never divorced. But she's still my aunt. We still always call her aunt. It's easier to call her aunt.
All right, yeah. Fuck it. Weird family relationship. Just go with a name.
It was her 45th birthday. And we were celebrating her 40th because for her 40th, they did something super low key and she was expecting a big party and then no one threw it for her. And so my cousin, 5 years later, felt kind of bad about that. She's like, I'm going to throw her a 40th birthday to make up for her, for fucking that up. And so it was a surprise party. And it was really great. It was really nice. It was at at their apartment complex, has like a clubhouse, really nice clubhouse. They had hamburgers and it was just really cool. She really appreciated it. She was super surprised. She ended up crying. We're like, oh no, don't cry. You're going to ruin your makeup for the photos and all that stuff. My cousin, one of my cousins, who's his mom, who's been kind of dealing with like substance abuse and stuff. I haven't seen him in maybe 2 years.
Okay.
Was there and he's looking great.
Nice.
He's like,
I always love hearing that. Like when you don't expect somebody in your family to be doing that great, and then they're doing fantastic.
Well,
it's so good.
He would it's like many things with like drugs and alcohol is like you can do good for a bit and then you kind of fall off and then so it's like back and forth. So every time whenever I did see my cousins, I'd always ask like, how's he doing? And they would always, it was like, oh, he's not doing that great. These last few times that I was able to talk to them, they were like, he's doing better. And then to actually see him in person and like talk to him and stuff, like he is really doing like really good.
Nice.
So yeah, it was really cool. And his son was there and he was like toting around like the Switch. And I was just like, yo, what games you got?
Dude, you being a gamer right now?
Bro, you a gamer? Yeah, and he's like, my cousin was telling me, hey man, the new Mario Party is great. And I was like, that's what I heard from my other friend. Like,
it's true.
And he goes, it is so much fun. I was like, dope. And he was like, what do you think about the last Mario Party? He goes, garbage, absolute garbage. Like, yeah, that's what I've also heard.
You played it.
Yeah, I did. But even if it's bad, I enjoy it. I'm like, yeah. Mario Party, this shit sucks.
It was a blast. And then immediately I was like, I don't want to play it anymore. Oh, it wasn't as much fun as I thought it was.
Yeah, no, I'll enjoy any Mario Party, even bad ones. So he was telling me about it. So I was like, yeah, sounds like they've been recently, all the four of my cousins have been playing Smash Bros. A bunch, kind of getting together. And I was like, oh, cool. I was like, we should play together. He's like, yeah. He's like, I would, my cousin, the one that's doing better, was just like, I will absolutely thrash you. And I was like, go fuck yourself. Just like when we were kids, I will beat the shit out of you. Because we were always very competitive for that game. He is really good. But I beat him plenty of times, but he doesn't like to lose. And so when I beat him, it makes me even happier. And I was like, how's your son? He's just like, oh, he'll beat you. I was like, really? All right, rack him up, first grader. Let's fucking do this, And I was like, who's your main? Who's your main? What's your main? And he's just like, I like Sora. I was like, okay, let's go. Set it up. And but they didn't have like the GameCube controllers or the Pro controllers. They just had like the little nunchucky thingies. And I was like, I've never played like this. I was like, fuck it. I've had like 4 beers in me. I can do this.
I will tell you, every single time that Smash Bros. Has come out, and then they're like, by the way, here's a different controller. You can do whatever you want. I've always stuck with the basic one.
Yeah.
Because I know, all the other ones are better, but if I'm in a situation where I don't have that, I don't want to get completely fucked.
Yeah.
So how did it feel being completely fucked? Because I've played on that. Also very inebriated on New Year's.
It was like these little things. Oh, dude, it was tough. He did Sora, who I have not played. Have not played against. And I was just like, oh man, I really hope I can beat this fucking 6-year-old or whatever. I was like, I hope I don't get thrashed. I picked Mario, 3 stocks, no items, pretty standard stuff.
No items with the first grader?
Well, they're all super competitive, so they don't like to play. They've never played items. Like, okay. And then one of my other cousins, my girl cousin, she says, items are cheating. I said, items are in the game for a reason.
I agree.
And my cousin was just like, yeah, that's what I tell her. It's like, you think the developer made the game to just be like, yeah, but only pussies use this. Like, that is
Sakurai never intended it to be a competitive game, and then when people started making it, he was like, "That's not how I want my game to be played." He actively said, "Don't."
I like that items, but I'll play no items. It's like, oh, whatever. Well, let's just play. So, we're going back and forth for the first life, and I beat him, and then he instantly kills me because I was like at 90 something. I was like, okay, cool, let's fucking keep going. And then the last 2 lives I just took from him, I was like, oh, this kid's not that good. So I look over at my cousin and go like, "What up, bitch? Your son can't handle me." What? And he's just like, well, who do you play as? He's like, Sora. And he goes, oh, his main character is actually this other character. He just likes Sora because he thinks he's cool, so he's using him now. So if he was playing his actual main, my son would have beat you. I was like, fuck you. I don't want to play anymore.
Can't we just be like, it's a little kid?
No, I know, absolutely.
Why can't he just be like, yeah, duh, you beat a first grader.
Yeah.
But instead he's like, no, your ass would have been kicked, kid.
Exactly. I don't remember who you said it was. It was some other character. I can't off the top of my head, I can't remember. But the kid was really nice. Like, he's just like, hey, my cousin was like, hey, like, he's very competitive. So if you win, he might like freak out. I was just like, well, that's not going to stop me from trying to win. Like, I also want to beat him. But when I beat him, I was like, hey man, good job. Like, like fucking pound it. And he's like, oh yeah, dude, good game. I was like, oh, cool. He's crazy. His kid's super, like, he's just having a fun time. So yeah.
Dude, like, he's just fucking with you the whole time.
No, I guess he really is competitive. But it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how competitive he is compared to him, not even on the same radar. But that led all of us talking and be like, hey, we should set up a day and we should meet up and, play Smash Bros. For a few hours in a neutral environment where no one is going to get too serious because it is just a game and none of it matters kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it was fun. The birthday party was also fun. The Smash Bros. Part was probably like the most entertaining part for me. Okay, what else?
Dude, it was a great 40th, 45th birthday party. Yeah. And I kicked this little kid's ass. Really, really solid.
Yeah, destroyed him. This week I won in fantasy. I won so hard, dude. I scored 153 points, which was the most points I've scored all season. And it's also the most points anybody scored this week. I also won by the most points. He only scored 70 points like a little bitch. I am still in 9th place. Actually, I mean, I am now in 9th place. I've gone up a place, but still not in the playoffs, still at the bottom.
Yeah.
My record
You're still doing good.
Is like, I'm 3-7. Yeah.
Still not in last.
Not in last. All right. Boy, so that was fun.
We haven't talked about Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah, we can.
For anyone that doesn't realize why I would bring this up, Aaron Rodgers is from our hometown.
Yeah, and he sucks.
And he doesn't like to contribute him getting into the NFL or anything with his own home high school, which we didn't go to. I don't really give a shit. Like, I have no high school like affiliation either. I'm like,
Panthers till I die, bitch.
Yeah,
no one cares.
But he didn't give any credit to that, despite, I feel like with sports, there's a lot more credit to give to schools, especially when it's like a wealthy school that has a whole new thing that they set up specifically for sports.
I think what's interesting about that is that he has since kind of like given back to the high schools, and like he built that stadium. He also built Chico High Stadium because they wouldn't just let him do PVs. He's like, you have to do both. And he was just like, at first he was like, fuck them, I only want to do theirs.
Right.
And then he fucking wised up and did both of them. What I think is even more fucked up is that like the shade he gives to Butte College because he played there for a bit.
And that's what I was going to say next. Yeah.
His community college before he went to, I don't know, he played for the Bruins, I think, which is
something like
somewhere.
That.
He played for some California state school or whatever, and then eventually went into the NFL. But yeah.
Yeah, but he's been a part of our towns, like, oh, we did something good, like whatever. And now he's causing a whole big ruckus for the NFL
for being a huge douche.
Yeah, by spreading bad information about vaccination and COVID and all that shit. But then they're like, yeah, we're just gonna like fine you, despite other things being less serious in the past and people being kicked out of the NFL. Like, Aaron Rodgers is such a fucking asshole. And I say this because I had coworkers at Starbucks that were like, oh shit, it's Aaron Rodgers, like fans. And they were being super nice to him and just like regular ass people. And then he just treated them like shit and didn't give him a time of day. Nothing. Didn't tip or anything either. It's just like,
well, you can't. He's got to save as many for all those
what
fines.
are you fucking doing? Like, again and again, he was just like, I'm not going to talk about like all the things that helped me to get where I am, until people were like, hey, asshole, like at least give somebody credit other than yourself. And he's like, maybe I should.
Did it all myself.
Only the high school. Nope. You have to do both. That kind of shit.
No, I know that I've ran into him a couple of times here in town, and yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah.
Huge dick douche. That's what he is.
So weird.
I think my sister was maybe in this, like a freshman when he was around. I don't know, but I remember him being, he's kind of a dick. He is a hell of a quarterback. Good for him. But I'm glad they're finding him, which is absolutely valid. I think the biggest issue with this, besides him like spreading all the false information about the vaccine, I just think like the dishonesty about it all.
Oh, completely.
He was asked, hey, what's your status or whatever, because he's the head of the team or whatever. He's the head of the franchise.
He's crazy
he's
important.
Very crucial to this championship team that they want to have. And he's just like, I've been immunized. And it's like, cool. People assumed that meant vaccinated. No, he lied. The worst part is that he knew he lied. He wasn't vaccinated, and he did all the things he wasn't supposed to do, which is like, what the fuck?
He was around all these people, risking other people's lives.
Didn't wear his mask when he was supposed to. And other people,
huge danger.
And I'm not saying you have to be vaccinated. I think you should be, but you don't have to. Especially like in a sports situation, there are plenty of athletes who decided not to be vaccinated, but they're following the proper guidelines. And if they're not, they've been fined because of what they've done. But because he's Aaron Rodgers, he's the fucking he thinks he's better than everyone else. Fuck him. He's always been a very selfish guy.
Always.
What I really like too is that because obviously I watched football this weekend. There's always breaks and stuff, and they're gonna talk about him. And like usually the people that like talk about sports are like former football players, right? So they all were giving their opinion, and literally all of them were like, man, fuck him. They all gave their 2 cents of like how they feel about him, and most of them were like, yeah, it's really fucking selfish. You're being a douche. Fuck you. And I was like, good. I'm glad that no one has his back.
No.
Yeah. So fuck him.
Lots of people in the world that people love that nobody has their back anymore.
Yeah. But it's fine. He'll start playing. He'll probably play next game and then start winning and be like, oh, whatever. He paid his money. But fucking no one's going to give a shit. No one's going to do anything more about it. So whatever.
Anyway, sorry to derail
your,
it's fine.
You want
huge success.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk shit about him last week. This week, I still want to talk shit about him because he's still being an asshole.
Yeah. No, I think I got home from last week's recording, and it was just like, I forgot to talk about Aaron Rodgers. I was like, huh? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So good. We brought it up.
Yeah, he's a cockface. Yeah. All right, next topic.
So okay, fantasy I won. The Chargers actually won this week, which is pretty good too. That was good. No complaints here. Top of the AFC West, no big deal. For fantasy, the challenge.
Yeah, that's the important one.
I did really good last week, and I am now in first place.
Ooh.
You can suck a butt, Sierra. I'm coming for the win. So yeah, so it's good. What happened? I don't even remember what happened. Nothing. Like, I didn't lose a player. Actually, Jiro lost a player, which is good. We've gotten to the point where like the teams are kind of so light where, we have to submit our lineup every week or whatever. The options are really slim. Like, I can only like make 1 or 2 switches. Like, it's like, okay, cool. That week I played this person as my super flex. Now he's my flex. And now my flex is my super flex. There we go. Because like, there's no real mix and matching just because things are like short. Except for like Steph has 2 players. Like, she doesn't have this. Every week her lineup's the same. Sierra's, but now Jiro's at the same level as Sierra and I, which is like that situation where like he had more players, which essentially gives him an advantage if they made it to the finals. But yeah, so I'm positive about that. Hopefully they can get this win. I know it doesn't mean anything to anyone besides me and Sierra because Jerome and Steph don't care, but I would like to beat her because she beat me last time and she wasn't nice about it. She rubbed my face in it.
Well, you don't always have to be, I
got to be the best. I had to be number 1.
You don't always have to be that guy.
I have to. Let's see what else. Okay, so my job continues. I'm still.
You do, yeah.
I am still game capturing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's going well. We are having issues with like a certain game mode because it's short and it's going too fast. But not gonna talk about it. Just having a good time, doing my job, talking to the guys. The guys that I talk to are really nice. We have like some downtime in between, like setting stuff up, and I will just like talk about shit. Like one of the guys had a really funny bit. He's like, I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna go buy these push bars, which I don't know what they are. I think they're part of a car or something.
Okay.
He's like, I'm gonna buy these push cars. They're usually like $400, $500. He's like, but this guy's selling them for $1, and he's selling 4 of them. And we're all just like, yeah, that guy's gonna kill you. Like you're gonna get to his house, he's gonna murder you. And he was just like, well, what's the like? My head is like, cool, 4 for $1. That seems like a steal. And he's just like, yeah, but they're 5 hours away. I was like, oh, is that 5 hours there and back, or 5 hours there and then 5 hours back? It's like, it's 5 hours there and then 5 hours back. I'm like, oh, so you're gonna drive 10 hours for these things? He's like,
just 5 hours to get killed, actually.
Yeah. And then he goes like, yeah. I was like, have you considered the amount of gas you're gonna spend going there and back? Is that gonna, offset your profit? And he's like, I didn't think about that. I was like, okay. So was like, we'll see how it goes. And then the next day he came into work, like, oh, hey guys, update on the push bars. They are now cost $65 a piece, and I have not decided if I'm gonna go get it. It's like, well, now you're losing even more money. You should have gone yesterday. But it was just, I was like, I never would have talked to this guy. He likes hockey. Seems like a cool dude. What else we talk about? Oh, we also talk about anime and stuff, like in between our breaks.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah, right, for sure. Like anime. We talked about, fucking Marvel stuff, just because like that's obviously a bunch of video game guys would be also kind of in that realm, in that wheelhouse. Yeah. I'm just like, you guys watch Erased? And my guy's like, have I watched it? I read it. I was like, oh shit, a higher life form. Nice. Because we were talking about live action garbage, like live action movies. And I was like, hey man, the live action Erased series on Netflix is actually really good. Then he goes like, but why would I watch it? I watched the show. I'm like, you have a great point.
You don't need to.
Yeah. And I was just like, I am not going to tell them why I watched it because it's none of their business.
We wouldn't have watched it if it wasn't for the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I was just like, I'm not opening that can of worms.
Would you watch the Cowboy Bebop show if it wasn't for the podcast?
Oof.
I mean, after seeing the trailers, I could tell you for sure
you wouldn't?
No.
Yeah, okay.
Unless we're all like doing a thing.
I don't think so.
Like,
I mean,
if we all got together and had drinks and stuff.
I don't think. I mean, honestly, this is without seeing any of this stuff. I probably wouldn't, just because I haven't seen the Bebop show. So I go like, why would I? I would just watch the show if I was inclined to, or finish it, because I have watched some of it. Probably watched like 8 or 9 episodes.
Sorry, you've seen it.
I've seen it. I've seen all of it. So yeah,
you just needed to tell me that you'd seen it, and then I would understand.
I've seen it, but yeah, I don't know. Probably not. Just like I honestly wouldn't have watched the live action Erased if it wasn't for this. Why would I?
You wouldn't.
I read the manga.
I wouldn't have watched anything live action other than probably that Death Note Netflix movie.
Yeah, because of...
And then I would have never watched anything live action Netflix put out again.
Yeah.
It would have just been...
Like, oh, I get it. You guys are just bad at this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you had a good formula. What the fuck was that?
It's like, they did all the writing for you. Why are you having such a hard time? The last thing I did, speaking of Netflix, finished Midnight Mass.
Hey, I've seen that show.
It was good.
I liked it.
I liked it too. I don't think I loved it. I don't think it's like my top, but I think it was really good. I really enjoyed a lot of the characters.
A sucker for monologues, man.
You see, and that's the thing. I think the monologues, there was like a lot for me. I was just like sitting there and I go like, Sierra, you realize that this island is just filled with people who love talking about stuff like really long. It's just it's like someone comes up to someone and says something like, hey, this is happening. And they go like, well, let me tell you about what, and then they just tell you their life story and they go, wow. Okay, and then instead of it cutting, they go, well, let me tell you, and then they tell them their life story. I'm like, oh my god, yeah. Some of it's written really well, so I do enjoy it. But at a certain point, I was like, oh, I am getting kind of tired of this. I want to see something blow up, and then stuff blew up. I was like, nice.
Yeah, you got what you wanted.
You fucking did it.
For sure, yeah. That movie or that show had a lot of monologues, and I would have been happy with more.
Really?
I thought that they were so well written.
Yeah,
it was so good, because it doesn't always happen that way, to where monologues turn out to be really good.
Yeah, for sure.
But I feel like every single one in this show was just
Appropriate,
great for their character. It added to other characters' stories. It showed overall growth in different ways and gave a lot of different perspectives. That's something that I don't think a lot of shows or movies do. They don't give you many different perspectives on situations. Mm-hmm. They usually just give you this is the main character's idea and this is what they're going to do. And then this is what the bad guys are doing. And if they're smart, then they have one character come in and say, hey, I figured out some stuff. This is actually what's supposed to go on.
Yeah.
For this, I feel like there was every direction. The story could have gone in so many different places, but where we wound up, I really enjoyed.
I agree. I think what's interesting about the monologues, none of them felt like, oh, like that person wouldn't say that. Like all of them felt appropriate for the person giving it, like their speech, or whatever. None of them were like, wow, you're just being sad. You're just written sad for the sake of being sad. You know, it's just like, okay, cool. These all feel right. But I just, in my head, I was like, I want less of them. I want to, you know. Also, the show did do things where like I would guess along like this is gonna happen, and I was like, oh, I was right, this is gonna happen. Oh, I was right. But then it did things I was like, I had no fucking idea that was gonna happen. I'm looking at Sierra like, did that just fucking happen? And she's just like, yeah, that just happened. I go, wow, they fucking got me. They got me good. Yeah.
So the entire beginning of the show was like, all right, I gotta guess. I gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
And then by the third episode, things start falling into place, and a lot of my theories and stuff either went out the window or were solidified.
Yeah.
And I understood what was going on a little bit more. But overall, I feel like they had so many different parts of the story that were still evolving. Mm-hmm. It was just easy to figure out where it was going from that third episode. But up until then, man, it was craziness.
Yeah, the guessing I did really enjoy. I do like that in the third episode it got revealed. I was like, oh, this is nice because now I can actually just kind of watch it and not stress about like, well, is it this? Well, is it that? You know, like,
and you could stop being annoyed by that terrible makeup /CG.
Oh yeah, that was.
I don't want to talk about it other than that. I just need to bring it up.
I will,
because it was really bad.
Yeah, I will say when I saw that in the beginning, I was just like, why do they look like such ass? You know, like I was just like, I was trying to figure it out. Like, why? You know, why didn't they just cast appropriately?
And
then they did.
You know,
and they did. I was like, oh, that's why.
If there was a little bit more effort put in there.
Yeah, it's not like they had a budget. It's only Netflix, right?
Yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah, so
it was that's my biggest complaint.
Yeah, I agree. That's
that
probably
one thing. But as I was trying to figure out what was going on, that was also a clue for me.
Same here. Like when I was piecing together, I'm like, oh, Sierra, I know why it looks so bad because of this reason. She goes, you think so? I was like, oh, watch me be solidified in like 3 minutes. And like they fucking did it.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Did you catch the 42069?
No, I did not.
I'll show you a clip of it later.
Damn.
He totally sneaks it in. He's just like, yeah, and the phone number is 42269. So great. It's or not phone number, address, whatever the fuck it was. Just the number. Slipped it in really sneaky. It's like, what's going on? Back to, because it's serious the whole time.
Yeah.
So when that was in there, I was like, you cheeky bastard. I fucking love you. The sheriff, Raul.
Damn, I can't believe I missed that.
Raul Cooley. I was in there.
Just too busy just drooling over him.
Yeah. Can't blame you. His monologue?
Good.
His monologue?
He had a couple good ones too. Yeah. It wasn't just one.
I guess I'm just thinking about the last one.
The second one?
The second one.
Yeah.
Where he was just like, terrorism.
Yeah,
and I was like, dog, I feel you.
That was really. I'm like, I liked his a lot. I will say that.
Very cool.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, good stuff. Good show. Absolutely worth watching. I feel like if you don't like it, I can understand. Like you said, Beliza didn't like it.
She wasn't a big fan.
I get it. You know, I can understand that. But me and Sierra both really enjoyed it.
It was so much fun because it had the right amount of spookies.
Yeah, you sent me that text.
Well, because it was photo from the sheriff.
Yeah, it was very accurate. Like, yeah, that is describing the level of spookies.
What was it? It was so dumb. It was just like,
I might have it.
Is little spookies, but is nice. I don't remember.
Oh, here it is. This is it.
Oh yeah, no. It was the like
in the bar,
aggressive like rapey boyfriend.
Yeah, in the bar, being like explaining, and he's just like, he's just like saying the level of spookiness of the show. It's
so funny. Oh, so dumb. Yeah, fantastic. I want to watch that show again. It was so good.
You can. You're allowed to.
I can. I want more of that. I just I mean, anything that I want to talk about openly
You can't.
is very like, it's spoilers.
Yeah.
But I want more stuff in the realm of what this show was doing. Because a large part of it has to deal with angels and like religious figures and stuff like that in a way. And I like how they addressed it and what they were doing with it. Considering that it could really be anything. Like, fortunately, the Bible and like other religious texts, not factual, so you could kind of, you know, you could loosely interpret what they're doing.
Is that
so
our
I
stance?
really like whenever we get some. That's our stance.
Interim podcast stance. The Bible is not factual.
It's not factual.
You heard it here first.
A little bit of fiction there. But yeah, no, I really appreciated how they were able to interpret things in a way that would mislead
to make it work
people, but also still be true to what it was.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, I think that was
So
really good. Especially like one of the like antagonists in the show. Just like this fucking you're using the words, but using them only the way you want them to be used. I was like, I get it. It's good.
That's
good
how
show.
people is.
Yeah. So for sure, I'd recommend it. I think it's worth the watch. It does suck that Squid Games came out around the time and they totally eclipsed it.
It did.
Yeah.
It totally did.
Bummer.
I think it was better than Squid Game, but I understand Squid Game as well.
I get it. I get
You know, it's like Maze Runner.
yeah,
you know?
totally eclipsed by Hunger Games.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing. God, fucking the worst. That's it. That's what I've done this week. But just been really busy with animating and stuff too. But I don't want to talk about it because I still have to do more of it.
That's
so.
true, you do.
Let's see. Yeah, I know you said you didn't watch any anime this week.
Yeah.
I watched one episode of my favorite show, Ranking of Kings.
How was it?
It was fucking good, and I'm not going to
Yeah,
spoil it
dude.
because I actually want you to see it, and I know you will. But you've decided to save your anime.
Yeah, I've been in a really binging mood lately, so I wanted to have more new anime to binge. I'm gonna be binging Cowboy Bebop, so I've got stuff set up for me.
Yeah,
I've got it all lied straight in front of me. But
so
yeah,
it's looking good. You know, our boy Boji's on his adventure with his two homies.
So excited.
And
I have
you know,
no idea what's gonna happen.
fucking shit ensues, you know.
Ooh.
I will say I have noticed that the show's pacing could be a tad fast.
Sure.
I do wish it was like a little bit slower at points because I want to enjoy just kind of the world we're living in and like our characters a bit, but still really good. I did break and did go start reading the manga.
Good.
And I was like, oh, I'm really enjoying this. It doesn't look as good as Wit, but obviously, you know, it's stylized.
Dude, Wit is so fucking good.
But I think the art for the manga is charming enough for me. Like, oh,
well, because it's cartoonish and fairy tale-y.
Yeah. As opposed to like the Mob Psycho web, you know, series where it's like, this is vile. I can't. My eyes hurt. You know.
Yeah, reading. I forgot that we read that.
I tried. I was like, they can't do it. But
I read a decent amount.
so I started reading it.
Wow.
And then I was like, everything is pretty like, you know, one for like the first few episodes. And then I get to a new chapter and it's like instantly giving us a lowdown on like the king and the thing that came out of his mouth. And I go, wait, hold on. I don't actually want these spoilers. Like, I was like,
you got far enough.
Yeah,
and you're like,
no,
I have to watch the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, come on.
I was like, no, I'd rather visually see this play out than because it's going to look so much cooler. And I was like,
it's going to look really cool.
I was like, I was hoping, I knew something like that would happen. I had a feeling that something like kind of big would be revealed or what I consider big right now. And I was just like, but I hoped it was a little bit later, but it happened so soon. I was just like, damn, guess I'll just wait like everyone else. So, but if next week that gets touched upon, I'm going back in until I get to another part. I'm like, well, should probably stop right here.
That's fun. Having like little checkpoints of like, this seems like it's going to get good. And I want to watch it the best way possible.
Like I scroll 2 panels and I go, oh, already saw too much.
Mm-hmm.
Got to turn around. I'm not going to keep going forward. I stopped.
I get it.
That's it, though. That's Ranking of Kings. It's
that's anime for the week.
That's anime for the week. All right, catch you next week. No, we're gonna. You got a bunch of news you said we're gonna go through.
Yes, I do. Yeah,
and then we're gonna talk about a good show that isn't anime, but still a good show.
It's true, but it's animated. I was looking out to see if there were any anime studios that were like listed. Nope.
No, it's all them.
It's totally internal. It's crazy. But hey, something else that's totally internal and crazy, and I say totally internal very loosely. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. You remember that show?
It, yeah.
People have been super excited about it. We are going to be able to finally watch it on December 1st. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean releases worldwide on Netflix on December 1st. everything's dropping at once. It's not
Damn.
episodic.
Okay. They said fuck it.
Yeah. So that's the big news that I got for this week.
That's pretty massive.
Yeah.
Is that the most recent chapter thing? Like
yeah.
okay.
It's nobody's seen it. It's been, teased again and again and again. When are we gonna find out? When's it gonna happen?
December.
Yeah, December 1st. This year.
I'm getting my tattoo on December 1st.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Maybe I'll watch JoJo's and get tatted.
You should get tatted in like an Oingo Boingo style in lieu of whatever you were doing before, just to represent JoJo.
Yeah, like sorry. Show up day of and like, hey, artist, can you do this instead?
Might as well, right?
She's like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm glad that we're getting that. Are we gonna watch it? You gonna make us watch it?
No.
Okay, because we did watch that short mini thing because it was a mini thing and
it was a spin-off.
Yeah,
but this is like a main story thing.
Okay, cool.
I feel like
as long as I don't have to watch.
We're on the same page.
Good.
We're gonna watch it. Hey, new info has come out about The Devil Is a Part-Timer.
Okay, hit me because this is important to me.
Yeah, season 2. There's
Canceled.
gonna be a lot of information announced on December 12th.
That'll be 11 days after I get my tattoo, so I'll be sore.
Yeah.
But
ready to learn some new
yeah,
information. I love that companies are still doing this of like, guys, we're gonna make an announcement in like a couple weeks. It's so dumb.
Hey, we got news for you. We'll have news in the future.
It's like, okay, well, I heard it the first time. You could have just told us the news.
You shut the fuck up and wait till the 12th. Yeah.
Something you're super excited about. New Bleach anime info is going to be revealed at Jump Fest this year.
I actually did see this. Yeah, cool. I'm the world's biggest Bleach fan, so I use it all the time when I do laundry.
Exactly.
That's all right. Like this one's also like a hey, wait for Jump Fest.
Yeah, it's just another
Bleach news. Yeah,
just wait. Less of a just wait and more of a, I mean, it's happening. Non Non Biyori Nonstop is going to get a 13th episode released on March 23rd, bundled with the special edition of the manga Non Non Biyori Remember.
Do I know Non Non Biyori?
Yeah.
Which one's that?
You recognize those four?
Yeah. That one's a good
Country
one.
Girls.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, so was Nonstop the second season or the third season? Because there's every season they have like
I think Nonstop is the newest one.
Which would be
it was Non Non Biyori Repeat.
So Nonstop was 3.
Biyori Nonstop.
Cool.
I think.
That's dope. I remember enjoying Non Non Biyori. We watched that movie too.
Yeah.
That
we watched a lot of it.
Yeah. God, if it didn't have such a silly name, I'd remember it.
Like Mitsuboshi Colors.
Yeah. Or like another name. I can't think of a silly one. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
All right. Sword Art Online, the movie Ordinal Scale, is going to come to Crunchyroll. It's been out for a couple of years, but Crunchyroll's going to have it.
Cool.
So we're going to review that for sure.
Yeah, if we got nothing else to watch.
Yeah, I don't know when exactly this is coming out, but it is going to be airing on Crunchyroll, which is pretty big.
Cool.
Another pretty big thing, Tiger and Bunny 2 is going to have 25 episodes, and the first 13 are going to be premiering on Netflix in April.
That is crazy to me that
it's
actually
like a decade.
That got a sequel. Like,
yeah, it's
I
been
was
a
like,
decade.
I don't know which one's announced first. Maybe this one, but like Devil's a Part-Time are getting some more, and then was like fucking Tiger and Bunny. I was like, really? That really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And this is worldwide, just as a heads up for anyone that it might get stuck in Netflix jail. What the fuck? Hey, more what the fuck? There's a prequel to Kakegurui coming out.
No way.
Yeah, there's a prequel. It's about what's her face, the blonde girl, and somebody else.
Okay, this is the blonde girl. She's the one that bit her nails off. Or is that someone else?
No, she's the first one.
Huh.
She has like an American name. I don't remember her name. Sierra loves her.
I don't remember this. Good.
She's like the very first one when they're doing the rock, paper, scissors in the box thing, and she gets the slave who's the main character.
Yeah, isn't that the same person?
And then Jabami or whatever saves him.
Isn't that the same girl that ends up biting her nails off? That's what I'm saying.
No, that was another girl who had nails. I don't remember her name, but her entire thing was like about toys and like her family owned a toy shop.
Right.
They had a card thing. I'm like, I remember the whole show. I don't remember any of their names.
You know what's funny is that there was 2 seasons of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't remember the second season.
Second season was bad is the reason why. It was weird. It had the like tower with the flowers beneath it that like somebody jumped out and like just landed in the flowers and they were fine for some reason.
That all sounds made up to me.
All right.
But I believe you. Why would you lie about that?
The second season was not that great of Kakegurui.
Yeah. XX. Yeah. I was like, ooh. So one so close to being sexy.
But yeah, Mary is her name.
Yes, the one.
Got it.
Yeah, okay.
I was like, it's an American name. Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. So Mary's the main character of this, and it's going to come out in August 2022.
We'll probably watch that one.
Oh, this is all Netflix stuff going forward for a little bit here, by the way.
Let's do it.
Aggretsuko season 4 is going to come out on December 16th.
Cool. Angry Panda. Nice.
And Haida is going to be the focus of the season. For those of you that watch the show, you know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Those of you that haven't, I don't know what I'm talking about. So we're all good. 7 Deadly Sins.
Damn, they're still making this, huh?
Not exactly. They're doing movies now.
Nice.
So we're going to get 2 movies. 2 anime films. The 7 Deadly Sins, Grudge of Edinburgh, parts 1 and 2. It's going to be an anime original. And the story is written by the manga creator. So...
yeah, as long as they get someone to animate it properly.
Dude, it's Netflix. They should be good.
Yeah.
I guess that was all. There was a bunch of Netflix stuff, but I already talked about a decent amount.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing is Bunko Stray Dogs season 4. They released some artwork for it, and god damn it, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And as soon as I found out, I immediately was just like, who are we going to get? What's going to happen? I definitely feel like I'm not going to know any of the people. But they're normally named after different writers. Mm-hmm. They went initially for famous Japanese authors, and then they went over to famous English authors, mostly British authors, I think.
Yeah.
So now they could go again back to Japanese authors. They could go to just
Russian
poets, is what I think would be cool. I don't know. Yeah, could be anything.
I know it's funny. Sierra was just like, hey, yeah, I posted that Bungo Street. I was like, didn't you and Trip talk about why doesn't Bone just make more Bungo? Or I'm like, yeah, we did mention that.
We literally just did.
That's funny. I was like,
yeah,
nice. I'm glad. I mean, good. I know you like that show.
I'm so goddamn stoked for Maya Angelou to come in there and start caging up a bunch of people. You know what I'm talking about?
I love. Yes, absolutely. 100%. Favorite show.
Just Why the Cage Bird Sings. You remember that?
Yeah.
From high school?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't read it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was obviously in a different English class level. Okay. I didn't read that one.
Yeah, but I mean, people talked about it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't read Pride and Prejudice.
Did you not read it?
I was not in a Pride and Prejudice class.
Me either. Yeah. I read. Okay. Let's see. These are the ones I read. Lord of the Flies.
No, but actually, I did that on my own
for funsies.
Yes.
How was it?
I got halfway through it.
You're still not that funsies.
I was like, it's fine. I get it.
I was reading. I had to read it for the class, and I was just like, nice. Movie's better. Let's just watch the movie.
I wish that I had read Animal Farm or something else instead.
Yeah. Lord of the Flies. I also read One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
I didn't read it, but there are a lot of excerpts that we had analyzed and stuff. Also, I had seen the movie in psychology.
Yeah, good movie. I think freshman year, we did a Mice and Men. I think that's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty standard.
I got that one.
Yeah.
There's a Boo Radley. That one. What's that one called?
That's I was about to say Mockingjay. That's To Kill a Mockingbird.
Thank you.
Read that one too. Yeah. I think the last one that I remember that was big is The Things They Carried.
Oh yeah,
which is a Vietnam thing. I think.
Yeah.
That one I didn't read all the way through. I was like,
We didn't read that one, but that was again something that we had read excerpts from.
Do you want to know why we didn't read that one? We started reading that one, and then our teacher got cancer, and then she left. And so then the assistant teacher came in, and she's like, "We're not reading this book anymore."
Oh, shit.
And I was like, "Cool, that's all right. I don't like it anyways." Right. She then beat cancer and came back to school. So positive thing.
Fuck off, cancer.
Yeah, get fucking rock cancer. So yeah, I think those are the big books that I read in high school. But yeah, the one that you said earlier,
Why the Cage Bird Sings. Yeah.
Heard of it.
Yeah.
Never read it.
There's one, I don't remember the name of it. I'm sure I'm just terrible with all that kind of stuff. But the main character was Okonkwo, and it was about him being in Africa. And
ooh, Okonkwo, that sounds really familiar.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I don't know. I remember naming at the time I was playing Dark Cloud. So I had named the African dude Okonkwo because I liked the book. but I don't remember
the book. Yeah.
I don't remember the name of the book. I just remember that name because it was associated with different things. That was one that I had to read at the same time as To Kill a Mockingbird, and another one that I just couldn't give a fuck about. I read a lot just like my freshman year, I think, and then they were like, books, dude. You know,
I just forgot. We also read Jurassic Park sophomore year.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I feel like that's a good one.
I was just like, yeah, dude, I love this movie. And I'd be like, this book is hard.
What's up, Michael Crichton? I'm here to watch the dinosaur. Yeah. Oh, should I have to read?
Yeah. I was just like, where this? Oh, there we go. Death. No more words. God.
Goat. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, that's it. That was our book corner.
That was our book corner, I guess.
We're trying to change the vibe. We're pivoting.
Well, I mean, when you're talking about Bungo Stray Dogs, if you don't bring up a little bit of
who are you? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You got to bring up literature. It's kind of a part.
We read some books, mostly Hunger Games and
Rikki Tikki Tavi. Those are the only ones we read.
Maze Runner.
Yeah. Percy Jackson, The Lightning
I read
Thief.
those too. I own those.
I like how your eyes lit up right away.
I
love
like,
those. Dude, Percy Jackson, we're about to talk Percy?
Dude, it was so
I don't
cool.
know what it is.
I thought it was really cool because like I didn't know much about Greek mythology, and I was just like, reading like these words are insane, and then I went and referenced them. I was such a nerd. I was like, oh, dude, fucking the Minotaur, you know. Yeah, and then until later played Pathfinder, and then decide to fall asleep in the labyrinth. Like, why would I do that? I read Percy Jackson, Lightning Thief. What was I thinking?
You should know better.
Fucking Sea of Thieves, dude.
That's the way it goes.
Good shit though. Anyways, are we done?
Was Charybdis a part of Percy Jackson?
Charybdis. If you maybe if you pronounced it the way I read it,
sure.
Yes, that's it. That he is in absolutely. Yeah, because
that's so fucking
I did not
funny
say
to me.
That
okay,
way.
Cool.
Yeah.
Charybdis, the giant like whirlpool thing.
Yeah.
In mythology.
Yeah, there's a part.
Was it also a giant whirlpool monster?
In the second book, they go to the Sea of Monsters, and it's there for a bit, yeah, for sure. But a lot of it was me being like reading words that like I'd never thought about, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pronounce that like this and just never say it out loud because it's embarrassing.
Well, yeah, because that's one of those things, man. When you're learning from reading, when somebody's just like, "Did you say that like a fucking idiot?"
Yeah.
Then you go,
"Hey man,
what do you want from me?
Hey man, fuck you, man.
I tried to learn on my own.
Yeah.
I'm doing this shit. Somebody told you how to say that, you fucker.
Yeah.
You just told me. You could have been nice. I got to learn something today, and you were a dick about it.
There's a video. It was a couple of buddies playing. I think it was Paper Mario or whatever, and he says the word silhouettes like shillouettes, and the other guy he's like oh no, shillouettes, and the guy's like, hey, tries to get attention, and eventually he's like, can we just take a moment and go back to the point where you pronounce silhouettes like shillouettes, and he's like, hey man, I didn't have a lot of friends growing up, and I read a lot as a child. Okay, yeah. And he's just like apologize to me, and he's just like, I'm sorry. He's like, okay,
all right, cool, yeah. Perfect. Yeah, man. I had a friend who said corduroy instead of corduroy.
Corduroy, interesting. Yeah. What books are you reading that has corduroy in it?
There's a little one about a teddy bear named Corduroy.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. I think maybe, yeah. Okay.
I think it's called Corduroy.
That makes sense.
Something like that.
Yeah, you guys read the most recent Corduroy? It's pretty good.
Man. But she would always say that when I would wear my corduroy pants. And
nice,
I'm like,
corduroy pants.
Is it really pronounced that way as well? Because I didn't know it was. And then she was like, I'm pretty sure. And then we looked it up, and I was like, all right, well, we both learned something. I learned that it's not also pronounced the weird way that you did it.
And she's just
you learned how to pronounce it.
She's like, Trip called me dumb.
It's hard when you're trying to talk to your elders, and you're just like, please pronounce this correctly. You're 2 years older than me.
Yeah, come on, grandma.
You should know better. I'm very excited about Bungo Stray Dogs. Hey. I want to talk about League of Legends a little bit and contextualize this entire show.
Let's try, yeah.
With who we are as gamers.
Well, for people who don't know, I am a really high-ranked League of Legends player. So are you, right, Trip? We do that all the time.
I thought you were just going to say supporter. You're like a pretty high-ranked supporter.
I am a high-ranked supporter.
Not as support in League of Legends, but like...
Yes, I play mid, so...
But you're a big supporter of League of Legends.
I'm a big fan of 100 Thieves. It kind of happened as a joke, and then
the rest is history.
And then I still enjoy it. I'll watch it if I remember because it.
Oh really?
They won actually the last split. I think they won the thing. I was like, oh my cool, good for them, congratulations, yay, my team did it. I did say, and I've said it to multiple people, that if the 100 Thieves ever wins Worlds, which I've been told it's impossible, they'll never win. I will get the words 100 Thieves Till I Die tatted on my chest.
Yeah.
But I'm lucky because they're never gonna win.
Because 100 Thieves sucks.
Yeah, because the Koreans and the Chinese and all the other European teams are way better.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I didn't know much about League of Legends. I knew your old roommate loved it.
That's where I learned everything, man.
And I knew you like didn't like it.
I've played it.
Yeah, but I also thought you didn't like it maybe because your roommate loved it so much.
I don't like it because of the toxic community.
It's pretty gross.
Is more than anything.
Yeah.
Whenever I play a game, I don't feel like, oh, we're all having fun. I feel like we're all judging each other.
Yeah, like
and
why did you do
like
that? Why did you do your job? Now we lost because you didn't get that tower in time.
I don't like that shit. I don't fucking like it.
Can we just all play together? It's like no one plays League for fun.
League of Legends is a very aggressive community, and not super into that when I'm just trying to relax.
I got invited to play a DC kind of version of League of Legends, that style where it's like, hey, pick your character, and like someone sent, like a friend of mine in college sent me a code, like it's a, what are they called, like an early access code, like come play with us. I was like, okay, cool. So I downloaded the game. I was super excited. I picked Cyborg because I was like, I like Teen Titans. And then I
like Doom Patrol a lot.
And then I was like doing like, all right, the map said go. I was like, okay, cool. So I was like, I'm gonna go this way and shoot this stuff. And then it just in the chat was people just talking mad shit about, it's like Cyborg's fucking this up, Cyborg's throwing the game. So, and I was like, I don't even know how to chat back. Like, what button do I push?
Yep.
I played that one match. It's like, I don't want to play this game anymore.
Yep.
Games like that. So
that's how most MOBAs go.
Yeah.
It's a very aggressive community.
I do think it's cool though. Like visually, like it's like, oh, there's a lot of moving parts here. There's some really cool characters, really cool power-ups.
The thing that's always appealed to me most about League of Legends is that you have so many different characters from different parts of different worlds.
Right.
And then they're legends in whatever worlds they exist in, and they're scaled, like their power, their size and everything is scaled to be appropriate for
the fights,
the arena, whatever they're fighting in. All of that's like interesting concepts. And then they have to make these totally original characters, have these backstories. They've retconned backstories for like every character.
That's good.
They've redone so much stuff and made it more robust and cool. There's a guy that I really like, Jared Rosen, who he used to be on Hot Pepper Gaming. I don't know how much, but he worked on Dream Daddy, which is a game that we played together.
Yeah, for sure.
And he is now like writer for League of Legends.
Okay, cool.
He does a lot of the like really dark story stuff, so I was pretty familiar with some of that. League of Legends has always put out these amazing little trailers for their characters,
like cinematics and
where
stuff,
they don't show like, oh, this is how the character moves in the game, this is how the like attacks and stuff look, all that. Instead, you see an animation that can be about whatever the fuck they want. It just gives context to who the character is in their own world,
right, before
the world of League of Legends, all that shit. So essentially, I knew nothing going into this show about who was going to be in it. I knew nothing about the backstories that they were going to do, if they were retconning anything. I hardly even know the worlds that the characters are from, but I'm familiar. Like when I'm watching the show and I hear Piltover, I'm like, hey, that's a name that I know.
Yeah. Well, what's
that kind of stuff.
What's funny is that like, yeah, that's the level you like.
Yeah, that's my
your knowledge. My knowledge is I had no idea that the League of Legends was from different realms and they all come together to fight. Like I thought all the League of Legends happens in this one world I saw on this show, and I was like, but it's cool to know it's not. I think that's what's really cool.
It's so
lore,
fun.
The lore behind it is really dope. I think it's interesting that you said that they retconned it to make things better. Like that's super cool. All I know from League of Legends, like there's super crazy looking characters. There's some amazing designs. And as an animator, I like the animations. Like not just like the even in the game. Like
because the different skins have different animations as well.
Yeah.
So you can always see something new visually when you're playing the game, especially as somebody who hasn't been playing it for years.
Yeah.
If you just hop in, you're like, all right, 100+ characters. Everyone's got different skins with different animations and stuff. Like it is intimidating as a player.
Yeah.
But as somebody who wants to like enjoy a bunch of different stories and look at a bunch of different cool visuals, like different designs for different characters, different creatures. I think
that's
pretty
like
solid.
it's just like oh cool. I'm never gonna play this game. I'm never gonna be good at this game.
Yeah.
But I can like look at a game like that's really cool. Look, that guy flips a coin when he runs, and sometimes he flips a coin like this. It's like shit like that. And then cinematics on top of that, gorgeous. Like again, I have no context of what's going on. I'm like, whoa, I think those guys are on the same team. I think they're good guys, but they kind of look like bad guys. Oh shit, I think they're bad guys. Oh, they're good. You know, I have no idea what's going on.
Do you have a favorite League of Legends cinematic?
I saw a really recent one. I don't know what the deal. Okay,
you don't have to be specific about any of it. Don't even worry.
It was like someone was trying to raise someone that was like dead or whatever, and then the bad guy stopped it from happening. And yeah, I like that one a lot. They also even their music videos, like it was AFK, is that what it's called?
I think KDA.
Those guys like those look animation wise great. Like music aside, even if I don't love music's good. I was like, those are sick. Fucking
yeah, they've had a few different bands that they've created for League of Legends.
Yeah.
There's Pentakill and KDA, and then League of Legends just has a boner for fucking Imagine Dragons as well.
Oh yeah, the intro I was like, good intro. I was just like, who is this?
Terrible intro.
Love this intro.
This sounds like Imagine Dragons.
Yeah,
and then it was. They've done stuff with Imagine Dragons for their live conference things.
Do you think it's the CEO who's just like, dude, coolest band out there, Imagine Dragons?
I mean, somebody must do that. I know that our homie Kate, one of her bosses, I don't know who it is, his son or like nephew or some shit like that is in AFI, the band.
he plays the music. He helps make the music or whatever.
Yeah. He's not in League of Legends. Oh. AFI is a different band.
The band, yeah. They got I've played some of their songs in the Guitar Hero rock band, I think.
I believe it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just sometimes there's always like this weird connection. So maybe there's some kind of Imagine Dragons connection.
Yeah, they're like, hey, dude,
they have.
We're both, yeah.
Or maybe just a big fan. Or whatever. Maybe they were easy to work with. And
the CEO of League of Legends, of Epic. No, it's Epic, right? No, it's Riot. Yeah, Riot was just like
Rito.
It's like my goal was to make this company and have my son, lead singer of Imagine Dragons, produce all the music. So obviously we're not gamers and we don't play this game.
We're not gamers.
No, we're not gamers. Not in that sense. Not real gamers.
No. I just really like the Tom Kinch animation from when he was announced. It was nice and spooky and kind of like a story being told by some weirdo in the bayou who just like always chills, but it's also like a monster who just consumes literally anything that comes by and is like a catfish monster. Love his animation. When he was first announced, I was like, this is my new favorite character just based off the animation. Mm-hmm. Then he came out and I was like, yeah, I like him. He's a big fat guy. It's awesome. So I don't know like the context of where a lot of these characters come from.
Yeah.
But there's always a possibility that we're going to see him.
Really? Is that who you want to see?
Only because I don't know where he's from other than like some swamp.
One of my favorite characters in League of Legends, again, I don't even really know his name, but he's the dude that has like the big shield. Like he plays support. And
the hot boy?
I don't know if he's the hot boy, but he has
well, I guess Tarek, or are you talking Braum?
That one.
Yeah, okay.
I like that one. He's got super, like, I like his difference. He's like a Santa Claus skin. He uses the chimney as his shield. Mm-hmm. My favorite one, Luchador skin, uses the chair as a shield. So maybe we'll see him. I'll be really happy to see him.
Yeah, so anything that's snow related is from a different region.
Damn it.
So we have to wait until they specifically mention whatever the fuck that's called.
The snow region?
It's something about like howling. It's something about frost.
Fine.
I don't know.
Fine. But anyways, so we went into this not knowing much.
Yeah. I didn't know what was going to happen at all.
It was cool to kind of go into it and be like, I think that's a champion. I think I want to, especially because I don't know all of them.
Yeah, you don't know. So when I'm seeing them, I'm watching the intro and I'm like, oh, really? Okay.
Interesting.
All right.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I'm like, but this is before they look like how they're look in the intro.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they're showing us what they wind up looking like.
I think there's going to be a time jump pretty soon.
Oh, yeah. No, so the first 3 episodes
is an arc.
Yeah, it's just like a little background story arc for a few different characters. Mm-hmm. We're going to get a time jump for the next, because they're releasing these in batches.
Yeah, 3, right?
I don't know if it's in 3s.
But the next one's
they're just calling it batches.
On the 13th, I think I saw. I was like, hey, November 13th, write in your calendars. I'm like, I will.
So ridiculously fun to watch it and go, okay, I know these characters. I know what they're good at. Oh, man. It turns out that they're this as a child, or like whatever the context is.
Yeah, for sure.
So the whole first episode was about Vi and Jinx, and then the whole second episode starts off. It's about Jace, and then we also get some Heimerdinger and a little bit of Vi and Jinx again. And with Jace, there's a little bit of Caitlyn. I don't remember what her name is.
Yeah,
is she Miss Fortune?
I don't know what her name is.
Something about hat tricks.
Yeah, but I was like, I saw her, I'm like, she's got to be a character. Like,
oh yeah,
her whole get up, her dude. Like, yeah.
There's this chick that she has like a top hat and a gun.
Yes.
Yeah. That's her.
That's her for sure.
Just so you
without a doubt. Yeah.
You now know. But yeah, they could go a lot of different directions with the story. They could bring in other characters and stuff because they haven't necessarily said the expanse of this world.
Yeah, or when it is. I don't think it matters, right? Like,
yeah, no, that's the thing is that like none of the time really matters in League of Legends. There's a character in League of Legends called Aurelion Sol. Are you familiar with him?
Not familiar, no.
He is a celestial dragon looking thing.
Makes sense,
right?
Yeah.
He's actually a galaxy. He's like the size of a galaxy.
And you can play as him?
He consumes galaxies.
That's broken.
You could play as him. Yeah, so that's the thing is that no matter what we see in this show, we might not be able to see everything. Just because there are some characters that are so big, difficult to
get it in the game. Right?
Yeah.
Imagine it being like, is that a galaxy dragon drinking at the back of the bar? Yeah, he comes here all the time. Obviously, they're not going to do that. I'd hope they wouldn't, right?
No.
But from what it looks like, the amount of care and detail and and attention to giving these last episodes, I'm like, this is going to be good. Like, it's
honestly,
going to be good.
I have such minimal complaints about it.
Okay.
One of the only things
is Imagine Dragons.
Well, fuck Imagine Dragons.
That's my favorite
for
part,
me personally. So. That's just a Chris Triplet thing. I'm not into Imagine Dragons, but there was at the first episode, there were a couple of things where I was like, this feels a little bit video gamey, but like it's okay, whatever. It's just in the context of that. But more than anything, there was this whole sequence where the kids are like getting away and they're running around and doing a whole bunch of weird shit. And they go through some like pipes, some like muddy pipes.
Poop pipes, yeah.
Yeah. And each time it would show them from different angles that you would be in like the corner of one of the tubes, and then it would show the kid like coming in, and then it would show the kid going the other direction. We weren't in the perspective of a character or anything, but they wanted to be like, this is an actual camera and you're getting covered with the poop too.
That you didn't like?
I didn't like that. I didn't like that they were putting a splash effect on the camera because for a video game, that makes a lot of sense. You want the player to feel immersed and to feel involved. But I don't want to feel involved if I'm watching something that I have no control over.
I hear what you're saying, yeah.
So that was like the most minimal little fucking nitpicky ass thing. But yeah, I saw that and was like, that's a weird choice. And I kept enjoying everything.
Yeah, I think there was like just animation's great. There's really good animation.
Oh my gosh, such good animation.
There was a couple times where I feel like maybe there was like over animation. Like I go like not everyone has to react to when someone says something. So it's because then my attention is split. This person says this thing who's talking to this other character, and then three other characters in the back all do something to it. So I'm like trying to catch all of it. And that happened a couple times. Again, that you had to point out the one thing I don't like because it was such a good show. Yeah. Right.
And that's something that I enjoy as well. So while these are things that you and I might not like personally, other people might like it. Yeah. They might get more of a kick out of it. So that's why specifically
it was still really cool because I would like because some of the characters doing stuff like I want to know what they're doing. So I would have to rewind it and be like go back and go, oh cool, that's cool for that character. It implies they're like that's the kind of person they would do and they would react like this. But as a viewing, like if I was gonna sit, I don't want to have to keep going back like, wait, what did I miss? What little tiny detail did I miss? Because everyone's moving at the same time, you know.
Yeah. Thing. Honestly, for this, like there are times that I've had friends want to see something that I've just watched and enjoyed, whatever. Like, oh yeah, I just saw that movie. I'm like, oh man, really? I'm like, yeah. If you want to go see it again, I'll come with you. You know, one of those.
I've done that for sure. Yeah.
This is such an easy, if somebody hasn't watched it and they wanted somebody to watch with them, this would be one of the easiest things for me to jump on board with because of elements like
you
that.
Could see, because you could catch other things.
Yeah, exactly. Because I had such a good time with it that being able to see other things that they took care of and that they put a lot of thought into, I think it would make me appreciate it more.
Yeah, I think that the details for sure, like really like everything, like there's little tiny stuff, and I go, it's hard to catch it all at once in one sitting. So like if I did it again, I probably will, because I wanted to watch more of this. I'll probably rewatch this up again. I'll probably just be focusing on different parts. Like, okay, I looked at this part. I look over here. Yeah, it is gorgeous. So.
And the ways we're talking about it right now are really weird in the context of the show overall, I would say.
Right.
Because we haven't really said anything about what it's about or any of that, other than it's about some characters' backstories. And since most of League of Legends, you would assume that all these characters are just like fighting characters. They all have different kinds of fighting that they do. This show hardly puts an emphasis on that.
Yeah.
This is a lot more just like the characters' personalities and their experiences. It's got a little bit of politics going on with it. It's got a lot of different stuff going on that isn't just like, and these characters are the most extreme fighting character. Like, once we were able to get context for why our characters were good at what they're good at, it was like, all right, cool. You guys explain it. I am with you 100%.
And I think maybe that's the downfall to a lot of things. A lot of people, like, they want to make their character the coolest thing ever from the very beginning. So it's just like, oh, okay, cool. There's nowhere to really go from here. We're already at the top. Like, how do we, keep going? So I think that's a good call. We get to see, like you said, all the politics and stuff, but also like, like their backstory, where they come from, and like what grew them into what they're going to become. Because I'm excited to see them do stuff, because even though the fighting wasn't the emphasis, there was fighting in it, and it was done really well. But it wasn't 40 minutes of fighting, which is good. I don't think it's necessary.
I mean, aside from the characters that are in the video game League of Legends, Arcane League of Legends actually has a ton of characters that have nothing to do with the video game,
but are also very cool.
That are very cool and very important for our characters' growth and development and story overall. Like, this show blew me away, because I went into it with the same expectations of everything else Netflix puts out that's a video game adaptation. Yeah, I'm like, I'll have an okay time, but it's not going to be great, especially since we just watched the Dota anime thing.
I totally forgot about that. I think it's like because I bled the Dota anime being like the Witcher anime that we also recently watched.
They're like the same
thing.
Who gives a shit?
Exactly.
Lots of cool parts. Who gives a shit?
Exactly.
This Arcane, I give a shit.
Oh, yeah.
I love this. I think that everyone that's had an experience with League of Legends, like a positive experience, is going to have a great time with this. And if you don't have any context for what League of Legends is outside of this podcast, you're still going to have a great time. That's what I loved so much about this, is that, for The Witcher and for the Dota anime, fucking whatever. Who gives a shit? If you like the games, there are going to be things that you go, oh, that's one of those things I like. But other than that, I don't think that you get much out of that, as far as, being a not aware viewer.
I think this the Arcana like does a better job of starting from like nowhere, right? Like, so like going in blank and like enjoying it, because I was so lost with the Dota stuff. Like, I was like, I don't know like who the characters are. Where
that was
are
part
we?
of it. They wanted us to feel like we were just thrown into their story,
but it was so confusing.
It wasn't well written at all. I mean, that's one of the problems that I have with so many anime and so many like cartoons and stuff, is that they just want you to go. It's like, and they don't treat it with care.
Yeah, we'll go. Let's just get there eventually, like slowly. And this one does that, where it's like, I feel like I agree. Like, if you have no interest in League of Legends, you can come in with just seeing this beautiful animation and enjoy the story and the characters and all that stuff, and not have to go the extra round and be like, well, that character's this character. It's cool to know that stuff, but I don't think it's necessary.
More than anything, I feel like with this this whole show, everything felt like they cared about it.
Yeah, for sure.
It felt like the writing mattered. It felt like the animation mattered. It felt like, these are our characters, but we need to make them look like kids and still look like the characters without having them look too much like the characters, because there's going to be a lot of changes.
Yeah.
Without making it seem like they're not at all like it was a very fine line.
Yeah.
And they made them feel real to me.
And I think with this time jump that we're probably going to get in the second arc, or somewhere in the second arc, or second act, whatever, they'll probably still not look like they're supposed to at the very end, which is good. Like, I'm glad we're going to eventually get there. And we'll probably never get to the actual League of Legends things, which is, I think is fine, because I would gladly take more shows like this with other characters in other realms or whatever. Like, I think I would really enjoy it if they're gonna make it look like this, with the style that they're doing, which is very beautiful, with the animation being as clean as it is, the writing and stuff, I'll watch all of these.
Like, without a doubt.
Oh yeah.
Even if the next one's bad, I'll watch the last one. I'll be hopeful, you know. Hey, I really want it.
Maybe we'll get to So that's super cool. I think that maybe people think like, oh, we only watched 3 episodes. The episode's like 40 minutes long, right?
Yeah.
So that's like good. It's a good chunk of time that you're like kind of immersed.
You're watching a movie.
Yeah, I was gonna pop it on and kind of give it the Dota treatment. We're like, oh, I'll watch it, whatever.
The Dota treatment.
It's on and I'll be paying attention. It's like, but like as soon as it started, I was just like, oh, like I couldn't look away, and I was like, cool. I have to stop everything for the next 40 minutes. I'm invested in this, and I was like, I'll watch just one more, and then I watched another one. I was like, I'll save one for tomorrow, and so it's like it is really just like enticing as a whole. And I'm bummed out that I have to wait for more of it, but I'm super excited to wait for more of it. So
God. And with this show as well, they only actually show off 2 of the characters' like abilities that they would use in the video game.
Okay.
Being Vi and Jinx. And it's just during for Jinx it's just during one little scene. And for Vi, we get a little bit more context to it. We see her skills, and then we see her like actually doing what she would do in the game.
Right.
But then we also had, we see nothing about Caitlyn, what's going on with her. Jace is just doing his thing before he has a weapon or anything, like Heimerdinger is just a political leader. Like
he's like, hey, I got to go teach, physics 101 in a sec, but
he's the science man of
Cutie
the
McGee
show.
over here.
Yeah. Really interesting how they weren't like some shows I feel like would just be, oh man, we need to show off these things from these characters in these games. But no, they're being patient. They know that it shouldn't just be all about comparisons with the video game. These are characters that are getting context for the video game, not the video game advertised in a different way. Very cool. I'm just shout outs to the team behind everything, because all we've been doing is saying it's good, without saying anything actually about the show. So we'll remain as spoiler free as we can, but I think it's time that we get into the plot.
Okay, so our main characters are siblings, Vi and Jinx. They call her Powder here, right? So
her name is Powder Snow.
Yeah. So I'm assuming the Jinx moniker is something she acquires later, right? And it's kind of like ham-fisted a bit. I mean, I know it's gonna happen because people keep calling her that, like, oh, you're a Jinx, you're a Jinx. I'm like, I wonder if that's gonna be her name, essentially. But yeah, these 2 siblings, and what's the name of the world that they're in? The
Piltover or the underground?
Yeah, that's it. Like Piltover and the underground seems to be like 2.
They're the same but different.
Yeah, same but different. Like, it's like the poor people live underground.
Yeah,
rich people live underground. And the show starts with like obviously some sort of conflict that caused the 2 kids to be raised by this super badass dude from the underground.
Yeah, he essentially runs the underground. He's like a dad to the little ruffians.
Yeah.
And everybody respects the fuck out of him.
Yeah, everybody's really, I mean, yes. And then also at the same time, a lot of people are upset with them because they're like, you've changed, man. You've gotten soft. He's just like, yo, bitch, we don't got to fight all the time. Settle down, kind of stuff. And yeah, so it's them 2. There's 2 main characters, and then 2 other, I'm assuming, adopted kids that he's acquired on the way.
Yeah, we got a little crew of 4,
a gang, and they're out thieving stuff in the richy neighborhood.
Yeah, they're just scrapping around, and they're doing stuff that they think would be good for the whole of everyone in the underground, I guess. And
they also, had that wanting to prove themselves to their adopted father and stuff. And it's like, you don't think he would have done this? He would have done the same stuff. It's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think so.
So there's a societal pressure on them as well as like a familial pressure.
Yeah, this whole classism. They're sick of being shit on, and they want to take some back. So they go, steal some guy's stuff, and I don't know what they steal because I don't know what it is. I mean, I don't.
So they're going to some rich person's place that has a lot of crazy stuff that they got a tip off from their friend. Little Man?
Echo. His name's Echo, but
I know his actual name.
But they call him Little Man, yeah.
Was that his name or was it something else?
No, it was Little Man.
Okay. So yeah, Little Man gave them a tip and they went over and checked it all out. And it turned out that there were a bunch of crazy devices and all kinds of like weird shit that they've never seen anywhere else. They start stealing it. Powder finds some little crystals that seem really cool, and she eats a sandwich. And then
good sandwich. Yeah.
And then the person gets home, but they heard in time.
Yeah.
So they were able to lock the door and then like run out of there. But amongst the chaos, one of those crystals fell on the ground and caused an arcane explosion.
Yeah.
So these kids are running away from the police now. And there's some kind of a magic substance in this world that we later find out is not something people are familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all,
Yeah, I know that like in League of Legends, like there's magic, obviously, right?
Yeah, I mean in League of Legends, there's literally anything you want.
Right. So like, so when the characters in this world like are like not confused, I'm like confused. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Maybe we'll see the creation of this that leads to eventually being used in the game, which is like the lore or whatever of it. The crystals look like D20s. I was like, oh, dude, nice. This guy likes to fucking play. And it's just like, oh, they're not D20s.
No, they're just really shitty candies.
Yeah,
they're like fucked up, already chewed on candies.
I guess on the way back to the underground, they after shaking the police, they get into scuff with like some other baddies, the underground thieves that like want to yank, take their stuff, and this causes Powder to have to get rid of the loop, like throw it in the ocean or whatever, and just like, oh, cool, it's all waste. And then she gets shit on for being like bad luck or always ruining their plans or just not the best for the team. But it's hard, especially by the other two, mostly one guy. The other guy understands too, but like obviously that's her younger sister, so she wants her to prove herself and stuff, but she's just not at that level, right? Like obviously there's like the age gap and the skill gap that like will be met eventually. It's hard right now, which is like kind of shitty.
And then we see all of that happen with our group of 4 kids. It contextualizes things a little bit more, and it shows this one situation has caused problems for like 3 or 4 groups of people. When they thought that it would just be affecting the one person whose shit they were stealing.
They're like in and out. So, it's all in and out. It's all, if there wasn't an explosion, if things didn't get as bad and they didn't see that who have done it, there wouldn't have been such a problem. But
exactly,
it became bigger than it ever meant to be. So
the second episode contextualizes a little bit more of that. We get to see the perspective of Jace, who was the one being robbed. And we get to see his backstory, a little bit more context for what their world is and what like the whole above ground Piltover is doing.
Yeah, for sure.
And we get to see some more even seedier stuff going on in the underbellies. It was good. Like I think overall that's everything that you need to know. You know that there's context between the people who are trying to steal shit and help everyone else that they live around, because they think that all the people above ground, they treat them like shit. They have it coming. Yeah,
for sure. They've got more than enough essentially, and they're just tired of being shit on. So they're like, we're gonna get ours. And this arc does deal with like the people above wanting to get justice for what was done, and so there's that like conflict of like, well, someone's gonna have to pay for this crime that was committed and this damage, and they're gonna make a an example out of the person that does get caught. So
that's the storyline. That's the entire story arc. Is just there's a situation that happens, everything else pops off from it, and it would have a pretty easy solution if they just arrested some kids. Then it would just be done. But it's bigger than that.
It's a lot deeper than that because of the relationships of like their loyalty, their who their father figure is, and like what it means to like give someone up, and all the people down under, a lot of them want to fight, and it's just like, no, we can't do that. So it's like there's a lot of shit going on over this one heist. That blew up,
a couple of kids up to no good, and then everything set off. So more than anything, the show is about these characters interacting with a bunch of people that you normally wouldn't be interacting with them and growing from it. So all the kids trying to stay away from all the adults essentially, while having one adult who keeps telling them like new shit, like, hey, act this way, this is the way you're supposed to do stuff, also really good job, you guys are doing great, but
do
don't
better.
Do that.
I know you want to, and I know I would have, but don't learn by my lesson, please.
And the same thing is going on the opposite side of things, of just like, but science and magic. And like, look, dude,
cut the shit out. Don't you fucking say magic. Don't.
Right. Good job. You're doing some good stuff. Really proud of you, kid. Don't fucking do it.
I get it. Don't do it.
Be better. Don't do it.
He's like, you don't want to get in trouble? Don't mention magic. He's like, fuck. He mentioned magic.
Yeah.
He's fucked.
And the story goes in so many different places other than just those. A lot of really cool set pieces, cool rooms that we get to see just like quickly too. They put so much detail into all these rooms. They made a big deal about specific things and just totally nonchalant about others that have so much to it. I felt like when we were going through Jace's rooms as stuff was being stolen, I could hardly see what was going. There was so much shit everywhere.
What are they taking?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what they lost. I don't know what's good.
Yeah.
It was really interesting to see how they dealt with Jace's whole thing as a very separate deal from Jinx and Vi's whole thing, which was very much like, yeah, that's where the story starts. The second episode, no, the story's got like more complexity to it.
There's levels to it, yeah.
Even though I was already 100% committed to just that one story and like, oh man, what's going to go on? The other storyline, immediately, I'm just into it. I want to know what's going on with that. I don't know how they were able to grip me so closely, so quickly as well. It was just well-written characters more than anything got me into it. They elevate that with amazing animation, which again is elevated from the scenery around, elevated from, I don't know how they animated this, if they went like, okay, we're going to 3D render like this entire area, or if we're just doing shot by shot.
No,
because it looks like they're doing it shot by shot, which is more impressive to me.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's 3D really animation, and then on top of that, they must have had like these different like filters or layers to add like their textures or in like the palettes, because
there was a lot of stuff that they were doing with that. With like rain, they had like 4 layers of rain.
What I really liked was the VFX. Honestly, like smoke I really enjoyed, fire I really enjoyed, explosions I was like
watching them like animate an explosion in the background, like a magic explosion. I was like, that was beautiful.
That's sick as fuck.
That was so. Go back, got to see that little explosion.
Homie,
tiny little
lighting his pipe,
match?
and I was like, in the smoke coming off, I'm like, that is fucking cool, because it's different. But it fits in this world, like the vibe that they're going for, the style that they're going for. They've absolutely accomplished it and killed it.
Yeah, because in this world, magic exists in some capacity, whether some characters accept it or not, or whatever. But it doesn't have like a magic vibe to the towns. It is very like royal medieval, like the best looking medieval shit you could see, mixed with like some more modern, like not modern, but like 1900s 1800s stuff.
I almost want to say like not steampunk, but there's steampunkish vibes, like, but it's not
steampunk at all.
No, yeah,
but at the same time, could be.
Sometimes like the clothes at that era, that clothes that they're wearing, right? Like it's like, oh, it's really nice collars and shit. But also the metal tech that they're doing. Like everybody seems to be like just fascinated with like technology. Like even in Down Under,
they're all tinkerers.
As above, they're like oh, like they grasp and like we can do something with this, like whether it's like something like making magic or making like an explosion, like a bomb.
And they talk about how there are these like wealthy families and they have patrons and stuff.
What'd you create?
There's all kinds of crazy stuff behind this world that I want to know more about. And they're able to like feed you little snippets. Sometimes they build on those more. Other times it's like, okay, well, we're gonna get back to that next time.
Yeah,
we'll see.
One of my favorite lines, just like which was not necessary, but it's just like, oh yeah, we're patrons of this, blah blah. It's like, what did they create? Like, what did that family like? The collapsible screwdriver. Just like, oh,
yeah.
I was like,
I think it was a collapsible wrench
or something. And I'm like that's dumb. Like it doesn't matter at all. But it's like. But it builds the world, like what people value, right? Like what people like, in this world, like deem as like important in their society. Like it's just a good like insight on like what everybody's doing, because it all looks like junk to me, but all of them are like, this shit's valuable.
But at the same time, it's not like, it doesn't look like junk. It looks like it's something nice, but we have no idea why. Why anyone would care about it more than that other thing that looks nice.
Yeah, for sure.
I really liked that we got to see so many different parts of this small like city, I guess. I don't know how big the region is, but it felt like there were so many different parts to where there's an underwater aspect that we hardly get to see any part of it. Like underground, the underground, the above ground. We get to see the like court area. We get to see the living district. We get to see like the mansions. We get to see so many different things that all feel like they would be in completely different areas, but they're all so close to each other.
Yeah, and it's like, even though they're like they're close to each other. They still feel very large. And what's great is that the world outside of this world, out of this side of this little bubble, also feels massive, right? It's just like, this guy's from all the way over fucking there. How'd he get here? It's like this, like there's just so much to unfold and like look into, but because they're so dense in this tiny world, like it's really is. It's dense. Hard to even consider. Like, I want to see what's in another town. I want to figure out what's going on here. Yeah, and then we'll get there.
And it's so easy for me to just keep going on about all the things that I really enjoyed about this, because as I'm watching it, I was like, why am I liking this so much? And I'm trying to find all the different reasons. Clearly animation, story, character, all the like straight in front ones, but then to like say, oh, everything was so different, but it was also the same. Yeah. Like, that is such a dumb thing that I probably wouldn't say about anime for the most part. But this really made you feel like it was a real area for these characters. There were a lot of like, I don't want to say Pixar because I feel like that's too specific, but like DreamWorks level of storytelling that quickly gets you involved in an emotional way.
The world feels lived in, absolutely. It doesn't feel like, oh, shiny brand new. It's like, yeah, parts of it are shiny and brand new, but because they're supposed to be like that. But the world feels believable, realistic. Like, I can see this.
I couldn't tell you why, but for me, I was going back to How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, I think so. Similar vibes. I also really like that.
But totally different, but also the same. Yeah. Completely different. Just in that, like, you're able to quickly connect with some of the characters in that, and they all have these personalities, this little ragtag group of kiddos doing some weird shit. That's as similar as it gets to How to Train Your Dragon, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But the world felt lived in. It felt like these emotional moments, like we were there for them with the characters, not just like, oh, that's something that happened. It did feel like this is a story being told where we're really learning about something, opposed to it just kind of happening and it being a part of whatever.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Or it being like, yeah, it's just about the fights and how powerful they are. I don't care about that. I don't care if we don't ever see them get to the league or whatever.
The stories were so much more personal.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Really great.
Shout outs to them calling the down under the lanes. I know, I saw what you did there. I've watched a few league matches. Lanes.
Because there's like a top.
Oh yeah.
There's a mid. There's a bot.
Yep. And they're called lanes.
Interesting.
Yeah, it makes sense, don't you think?
But yeah, that's the kind of stuff that, like, it's there. It doesn't matter if you catch it or not.
But you can enjoy it.
You go, I always love that they do stuff like that, but that shouldn't be the only thing that they do.
Yeah, because then it neglects people that don't know what's going on. Then people go like, wait, why is that cool? Why is it interesting? Oh, I guess I'll just watch the big fights or whatever. No, like it's there for people who know about it and they can enjoy it, and people maybe learn about it and enjoy it also in the future.
I kept trying to figure shit out. Like there's this little scene in the Tinker's shop that does have Echo, his little Tinker's shop, and I was trying to look at everything there.
There's a lot in
and
there.
See if there was anything I recognized as a reference to League of Legends. There totally could be something.
Yeah, like
I might have missed it, but
like the mask that he had, like with the little telescope thing, thing in the eyes. Like, is that something? I don't know.
That's immediately. I was like, okay, so that could possibly be like this character or that character or that. Oh, never mind. There are a lot of masks in League of Legends. Like it was just that quick. Or like, oh, is that one of the items you could? Well, I'm not even gonna.
Oh yeah, that is really tough. Yeah, because there's so many items.
Yeah. So that's what I was trying to look for. Because while I haven't played League of Legends in a few years, I don't remember the last time I did play. I played enough to be familiar with the items and all the different characters and their abilities and shit, aside from whatever they've added in the last 3/4 years.
Yeah, or what they've changed. Yeah.
So there might have been references that you and I missed, but overall, it didn't even matter. I don't give a shit about the references. It was such a well-written show. Yeah. I can't wait for the next batch.
Yeah. I don't know how many it is. Is it 9? Is it more than 9?
It feels like it should be 9. They haven't gotten, like, in the intro, it shows all the different characters and, like, these clay models and stuff.
Yeah.
And Caitlyn hasn't gotten anything yet.
She will eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's it. Maybe she doesn't.
Yeah.
Maybe she dies. Maybe they retcon her.
She's not Miss Fortune. Somebody else is Miss Fortune. She's the pirate chick, I think. What the fuck is her name?
I don't know. Play the game.
Well, her name's Caitlyn.
Yep, that's how I know her.
Want to say a hat trick? I think that's one of her things.
I think that's the one.
Classic. So with getting into spoilers, I guess, it was good.
Yeah, good stuff.
Characters died. It was sad. Since it's 3 episodes, I don't feel like it's
no,
worth it.
Not really.
Yeah.
maybe when we're done with it, like
exactly,
we can talk about it not like as an episode topic, but like what we did. Like, hey, we finished it and we liked it or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll still be able to talk about it amongst each other.
We refuse.
So we'll at least know how it is. And then, of course, I'm gonna bring up, what's going on? New episodes came out. Whew.
When they come out,
one of them.
But yeah, the deaths that did happen in the show, I felt like
is their name?
They were hard. Like they for sure were impactful. And, I was like, damn, dude, like way to make me care, you fucking assholes. It's like it's great. The way this at least this last episode in this first act ended sets us up for cool stuff to happen in the future. Where I again didn't know what was gonna happen. So when it ends like that, I go, oh, nice. That opens so many doors to things that already were open or whatever. Like I don't know where it's going. I'm excited.
Her name is just Caitlin. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's...
I don't know why I was thinking she had a different name. Her and Jace are like the only characters that go by their actual names.
I'm Caitlin. What's your league name? What's your champion name? Caitlin with the... Caitlin.
Yeah. Well, looking it up, it's like, okay, so let's see. Oh, she has aliases, huh? The Sheriff of Piltover. Piltover's finest. All right.
Caitlin,
Caitlin.
You got any dope nicknames, Caitlin? Nah, just Kate.
Just Caitlin.
Yeah, my friends call me Kate, but you call me Caitlin.
Katie.
Yeah. But we're not there yet. So anyways, that's it, right? That's League of Legends. It's Arcana.
Arcane
on League of Legends on Netflix. It's good, dude. I didn't expect it
Why
to be
is
good.
it so good? Like I started watching it.
I think it's
totally willing to watch some garbage.
it's because Riot's the one making it, right?
They're so good.
Like it's not it's I guess we should have, if Netflix had any hand,
Riot.
if it was Netflix,
Yeah.
like if Netflix was the one that like said, "Oh, we're going to do this League of Legends thing," they probably would have absolutely fucked it. But because they
sucks that I agree.
Yeah, but because they didn't let them and they let them handle their own IP, it was great. And it's like probably some of the best animation I've seen this year, let alone like in the last 10 years.
Oh yeah, it's so fluid, and there are a lot of moments where it's like, okay, sure, they animated that. However, other moments where it's like, did they use motion capture and then specifically go frame by frame? That looked too good. There were a lot of parts that looked visually different. I love that about it.
Yeah.
While it all remained, in the same style.
Yeah.
It was still animated more clean for certain sequences that made it feel more realistic.
Yeah.
Versus just the scrappy play that we had.
Except that
was a little bit
fucking
more goofy.
pipe camera angle. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Get better.
Yeah.
With the splash on the camera. Come on. Get better.
You sure? I like that part. It made me feel like I was a part of the scene.
I hate that part. It's the worst part.
It's like, if the camera was in a first-person perspective, then it would be like, oh, yeah, I'm one of the kids, or like, whatever, fuck, who cares? But no, it's on the side of a pipe, man.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. It's uncool to do to somebody.
I hope
to spring that on somebody.
I hope they just keep doing that and be like, they really liked it. They keep fucking clamoring about it. Let's do that. That's it, right? Nothing else to really say about the show?
What was your favorite part?
Let's see. I actually really liked the first fight that they got in with the other street toughs.
The little like scrap,
yeah. Just because like we got to see the group, the 4 characters and how they handle conflict differently.
Sure,
right?
Yeah.
They could all handle themselves. I mean, but it wasn't them also just thrashing. They got pretty beat up too. That was really nice. I really like the way that fight ends too, where like the knife gets pulled out and is it Vi? She's just like, yeah, you really want to fucking do this?
Yeah.
How do you think that's gonna end? And it's just like, oh, nice. Like it really builds her character. It's like she's the leader. She's someone to be, feared. She's very strong. Like there's a lot of things like, wow, like when we see that where she learned that from her adopted father, because we see it's just a change from what we see in the very beginning of the show. It's like
yeah,
like what was it, like 20 minutes earlier? We're like oh,
sure,
what is this character? And then we see what the characters become, and I'm excited to see where their character grows. So yeah, that first fight I thought was like really entertaining, because before that I was just like, this kid's stealing shit. Oh, they're running. Oh fuck, they're throwing down.
One of my favorite scenes, can't remember if it was the second or third episode, but we got to see a little area that the kids hang out because nobody goes there.
The broken down arcade place. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was really cool because we got to see them all do things that they love to do.
Yeah.
Which was fun because you could also see how that drives them in different directions for their conflicts. It gives better context to, okay, she's good at fighting because she has this like
boxing
essentially,
apparatus.
like a boxing Kung Fu Panda style game.
Yeah.
You know Dave and Buster's Kung Fu Panda.
I know what you're talking about, yes.
Things? Yeah.
That was episode 2.
Yeah. There was that. We also got to see the context of like
the shooting arena.
Powder is the one that puts these together and gets them working again. So we could see she's a tinkerer even more so because she's like got these little things that she thinks is going to do stuff, but they haven't been able to do anything. And it's just like, it's just a little kid. She's fucking up. But then it's like, no.
She's capable.
She's good.
Yeah,
Look at what she does. She knows how to do all this stuff, even though like all of it's broken down and she's like an 8-year-old or whatever.
That is really funny. They're like, they give her a lot of shit. I'm like, yo, she fixed all these fucking games for you guys. A little respect, please. You know?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. A little respect.
That would be.
And
a
then we got
cool
to see her like shoot perfectly to give her like. She doesn't have a gun.
No,
she's
a
only
child.
Played that. She's only played that. But then knowing her character and knowing, oh yeah, that's the insane chick that rides a rocket and guns and stuff.
I mean,
like, oh yeah, she's the gun girl. Yeah,
it makes sense, especially like when she puts the gun down. She's like, you know, that's like it means nothing to her now, right?
Yeah.
And then later on, we'll see like, I think she's gonna dual wield. You know, talking dual pistols, you know, shit like that. And then you know, I did like the fighting machine too a lot, but
and then the other kids, just being a part of the group. I like how they all have their different like efficient parts of their missions.
Yeah, the lockpick.
Yeah, the lock. I love seeing him like mess with all the little different gears on the.
He's like, calm
special
down.
pick
you know?
He has.
He's like, okay, I got this. And then there's
the
muscle.
Brutus.
Like, and you know, and I was thinking like I didn't know what his character was like. Is he gonna be like the lovable like giant that doesn't want to fight? No, homie can fucking thrash. But he's a really like calm, nice person. And it's just like, yeah, but he fucking can lift shit. He can smash. I like him a lot. Yeah. Oh, and Goggles, main character. That's how you know.
Exactly.
Obviously, main character.
Obviously, he's
main character. Goggles. He fucking everybody thought it was fucking Jinx and fucking Vi. No, it's Goggles.
Vi gets Goggles later and becomes the main character, so that's a pretty big.
The passing of the guard.
Yep,
I respect that. I think Goggles would look good on her. So good shit. Great.
Does she have goggles? Like she might not wear goggles, but she might like have them around her neck or head or something. I don't know. She just got cool hair and a big fist.
Massive fists. Yeah.
No. In the game, she has one big ass arm.
One big
think.
fist. I thought
maybe
she
has two.
I thought she had 2 giant like gauntlet things.
I don't know anything about what I'm saying actually.
How about that? Double punchy. That was her vibe.
Well, that was her vibe in the double punchy part of the.
No, I think I mean I don't know, but I thought that's how she was in the game, which is like double punchy.
Yeah, she's got goggles.
Yeah, double punchy.
Oh shit. I don't want to say anything on the podcast, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about right now?
Dope. Yeah, dope.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
right
bro.
Now?
Dope goggles, bro.
All right. You know what I'm talking? Yeah, her arm's unfortunately not in
this photo
that I was hoping. So, oh well. But let me. I'm gonna do a clicky. I just want to make sure. Oh yeah, no, you are right. Who has one arm?
The big.
Who am I thinking?
That's a big dude. That's one dude, right?
There's a one punch dude.
That guy's from Overwatch. One big punchy.
There's a one big punchy in Overwatch.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Overwatch. I will say that. I don't know anything about most things, but she's for sure got 2 big punchies.
2 big punchies.
I just remember her big wind up, and that's why I thought it was one. I think she
could
go through walls with it. Like she charges it up, and then she follows her fist, which rockets stuff. That's why I thought she had one. Anyways, excited to see her use 2 arms. I was expecting the whole time. I'm like, when is her arm gonna get broken or whatever? When's her arm gonna get chopped off?
Maybe she gets 1 and then upgrades and gets 2.
I just don't know anything that I ever try to care about.
It's okay.
That's what it is. But fuck, this show is so fun. I can't believe it's so good.
Yeah.
I'm excited for people to watch it and check it out.
I mean, absolutely, you should check it out. We're gonna keep watching it as it comes out regularly. We don't know when. November 3rd, the 13th. That's the next one comes out. Next group of it.
Yeah,
it was good.
In like 2 days.
Okay, that's it though. I think we're done for the show. Do you got what we're doing next week?
Next week we're going to be talking about the next batch of episodes. I don't know exactly what comes out within this next week, but we're pretty close to Cowboy Bebop. Do you remember when that happens?
No, I know that close. I know that the shows are now on Netflix that we're supposed to be watching, and then the live action comes out soon, which I know you're excited for. I understand.
Beyond stoked, man.
It's gonna be really good.
It looks so good,
It's
dude.
gonna be amazing. Yeah, see it
It's
like
got
that.
all kinds of things, dude. It's gonna be amazing, dude.
So I don't know what we're doing next week. We'll
No.
figure it out. Maybe we'll just do the first 3 episodes of the show again.
Yeah, we'll just do the same 3.
Well, no, we'll break it down. We'll like, what did you pay attention to the other thing? Like, did you notice? We'll just do one of his rooms. Like, okay, so in this room. Okay.
Chase's rooms one by one. But I can tell you that on Sunday, I'm going to be watching my friend who's starting a new YouTube/Twitch thing.
Mm-hmm.
She's talking about magic cards and stuff. So if you guys feel like hanging out in the chat with me, I will be there 7:30 p.m. on Sunday, West Coast time. Her name is Ruthie_WOTD, and she's going to talk about magic cards and shit and open stuff and contextualize it, because I don't know anything about magic. I haven't played since I want to say 3rd grade, but I'm going to be bold and say 4th grade.
My brother-in-law had me play the new Magic game on my phone to kind of get into it. It was hard. Like, you're supposed to play like the color decks and like get through a certain level, and I was just like, can't do it. It's too hard. And they're like telling you like, there's only one way to beat this game. You only have a certain amount of cards. Like, okay. And I go, can't figure it out. Don't know how to do it. So it's not for me. But
well,
yeah, that sounds super
You'll
cool.
be able to figure it out on this stream.
Yeah, on the stream. Like, Ruthie's going to be explaining to me how Magic the Gathering works.
Yeah, so it's RUTHI_WOTD. She's got things everywhere. But I'm going to be doing that on Sunday at 7:30. So swing by, say what's up. She'll be opening Crimson Vow and Innistrad Midnight Hunt packs. I don't know anything about them. I just asked what that mean. She like, you'll see.
Yeah. Okay. So if you like our theme song, check out Not Mars on Spotify.
Sure.
Trip, where can you find us?
Facebook, look up the Instagram podcast. Same thing goes for Instagram. Look up the Instagram podcast. If you want to send us a tweet at Instagram Pod. And you could go ahead and email us, InstagramPodcast@gmail.com. Give us some stuff to watch, because it looks like we're having a dry season.
Yeah, or let us know who the best League of Legends character is.
Yeah, please let us know.
Let us know who your favorite is, and tell us how to play him, because we love it, because we're gamers now.
Because we're big gamers. Huge gamers. I've done nothing but game.
I get it. The lanes. I get it.
You get it.
Yeah.
And we like to stream the podcast when we record it, sometime between 8:30 p.m. and 9 p.m. West Coast Standard Time. It's okay. It's me.
It's just us.
It's just us.
It's just us doing the thing we're doing right now.
Twitch.tv/Crispather. Guys, I want to watch more anime. I'm so bummed this season is dry.
You're binging. It's okay. We'll binge it.
But I also don't want to commit to a show that, like, you know, when you commit to something and it's like 12 episodes long, no big deal.
Right.
But then when you know it's like 2 seasons, I don't want to, like, I want to watch the rest of Chihayafuru so bad.
But you don't want to start.
But I don't want to just watch one season and then, shit, there's so much anime happening. I have to pay attention to all this other stuff. And then I'm on season 3 and I can't even watch any of it because, like, I don't feel like reading right now, and I already watched another 20 episodes just for the podcast. You know, one of those.
It's like you're completionist, and you're like, I want to do it right.
Yeah.
And you want to give it all your attention.
So hit us up with some fucking anime recs, so we could experience that. There's a checklist so you can see if we've watched it.
What you suggest. Okay.
Yeah.
This is back from one.
See you around from Chris.
Hey, Trip, don't forget.
I just want to end it with that. I just want to end it with a sigh.